Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Monmouth, Oregon on Northwest Television Sports. Also brought to you by KWVT Channel 17 here in Salem, Oregon. It's homecoming weekend for the Western Oregon Wolves as the Lumberjacks from Humboldt State come into Monmouth for a great Northwest Athletic Conference game. I'm joined by my counterpart, Zach Louitak, today. Glad to have you by my side again today. It looks like the sunshine's gone away. No rain to be seen, and a great football coming up against a winless team and a team that lost on this home field a week ago. Give me your initial thoughts on the game today, Zach.
Yeah, an exciting matchup tonight. Like you said, the sun is gone. Back to Oregon weather we are. And a nail-biter last week as Western Oregon just fell short against Azusa Pacific, 34-32, and it came down to a last-minute two-point conversion that failed, unfortunately, for them, so their first home loss. But we expect two passing offenses tonight to come together at what should be an exciting matchup here at MacArthur Field.
Couple of statistics that jump off the page for both Zach and I as we get prepared for kickoff just minutes away here on Northwest Television Sports is the anemic or kind of the turf war that we're going to have go on today is that Western Oregon only getting around 68 yards rushing the ball and Humboldt not much better at 115 yards per game. So really, we are going to see a lot of passing, and we've just been informed that we're going to see Spencer Phillips start for Humboldt State at quarterback today. So there's a lot going on even before kickoff.
Absolutely, down to their third-string quarterback now for Humboldt State, and also missing their leading rusher from last year, coming in with over 1,600 yards.
Richa Dooley is going to be out. 1,600 yards a year ago, an all-conference player, not going to be available today for the Lumberjacks. And really, we were talking about the friendly confines here, and obviously Azusa Pacific came in here, beat Western Oregon a week ago, and now every conference team has a loss at home, and in fact, in the first 12 games contested in the GNAC play so far, the home team's only won 4 times. So, hey, look, today is an important day. It's homecoming. There's a lot of positive energy here. And really what we're looking at here is Western Oregon averaging 7 less minutes time of possession per game. You have to think that they are going to try to hand the ball off today a few times to set up Ryan Bergman. Yeah,
absolutely. Get that running game started, which will absolutely open up the passing game as well. And as you said, we expect to see probably a lot of passing from both these teams, not coming in with much rushing offense that we've seen so far.
It's going to be a tough situation if you look at basically both teams, but if we look specifically at Western Oregon, where they have not fared well this season is in third down conversions. As I was going through and compiling stats, 26 of 76, that's just over 34%, and that's not going to get the job done. Right now, a team that needs to get back to their winning ways and clearly getting the ball to Joe Harris out of the backfield so that Ryan Bergman has a chance to hit Michael Reeve and to hit Tyrell Williams and to look out there for Simpkins and Savoy. All the other targets that he has to do. But last week we watched it as Azusa Pacific carved up that defensive line, kept the ball, and really put the pressure on the defense and the offense of Western Oregon. As we get ready for kickoff, they're going to kick off a little bit early, and it looks like Western Oregon will take that kickoff with Patrick Tapia back as well, and the other deep man will be Dominic Aquina. We can't obviously forget Tapia's wonderful kickoff return, a 90-yarder last week, shot out of a bullet in for that touchdown, but football just about underway, doing the kicking duties this afternoon for Humboldt State. Bruder is his name. I've got to get his first name. Scott Bruder.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Tapia's return on that kick definitely helped them stay in the game. Special teams really kept Western in it last week. Seemed like they were on their heels most of the game, so look for them to get off to a quicker start here.
Well, the silver lining playbook, if you're Humboldt State, is you're going to look to your Chase Creveche, 14 catches a week ago. Obviously, Phillips will be throwing him the ball. It'll be his first duty. He's only played 1 game. But Western Oregon will get this kickoff and see if they can get this homecoming weekend off to a fast start. Patrick Tapia and Akina back deep inside their own 5-yard line, waiting for the officials to give us the go-ahead for Great Northwest Athletic Conference football here on KWTV Channel 17. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag, and kickoff just about underway here. Kick is up and on to the right side. Zapaya will get it at his own 1, and he will take it out. Getting to the right sideline, looking for a little bit of room, and he is rudely met by number 30, Connor Wagner, with the tackle. Western Oregon will take over on its first possession near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, so a great return there, taking it almost back to the 30. A nice kick there by Bruder. And so that's where Western will take over. There you see a nice hit by number 30 for the Lumberjacks.
Ball placed at the 27-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for Western Oregon. Harris in the backfield along with Bergman. Trip wide receivers out to the left. Bergman going to pass on first down. Finds Michael Reeve for the one-handed catch. He'll get past the first down marker, and a nice fast start for the Wolves as it's a Bergman to Reeve completion.
Yeah, we talked about Reeve a little bit last week. His big receiver out there at 6'7", and found him out there in the flats and able to pick up a nice first down.
Nice confidence booster for Ryan Bergman, only completing around 50% of his passes. 1 for 1 so far early in the afternoon. 2 wide receivers out to the right. Harris gets the ball up the middle. He's still on his feet, has room to run, and it'll be back-to-back first downs for this Western Oregon offense, and the Wolves getting out to a quick start. Nice
run there by Harris, doing a nice job. Like you said, last week just wasn't able to get much going on the ground. Did have 76 yards receiving out of the backfield, so definitely look for Ryan Bergman, the quarterback for the Wolves, to look for Harris out of the backfield tonight as well.
Bergman from his typical shotgun hands the ball to Harris on the left side, carries out his fake, and the defensive line absolutely pushing Harris out of bounds. No gain on the play. One of the things that we haven't talked about early on here is that Humboldt State 0-5 on the season, really kind of shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers. But that is also because they are playing a lot of players that are not accustomed to playing. We found out earlier 6 or 7 now defensive backs have been used this season alone. Bergman now again on second down and 10, trips wide receivers to the right. Looking that way, pass gets out to his receiver. No room to run, but he slips a tackle, and he'll run it inside enemy territory for Humboldt State. The catch was made by number 11, Spencer Van Brunt, his first catch of the game today.
Also a nice block out there by Michael Reeve, number 80. You'll see it here on the replay.
Van Brunt slipping the tackle, Reeve giving him the time with that great block, as Zach was saying. First time we're going to see Bergman maybe look under center. Wide receivers out left and right. Savoy to the right, Williams out to the left. Hand off to Harris on the right side, has room to run, and immediately met by his defenders. Number 36 coming in for the play, and Juan Johnson.
And he did get the first down there. So nice run by Harris to the outside.
3 early first downs for the Wolves offense as they're playing no huddle right now, seeing if they can keep this up-tempo up. Bergman now, twin wide receivers left and right. Keeps it himself as he fakes the Harris, and tackled immediately by number 42, Andrew Feaster, linebacker, 6 foot, 230-pound junior from Chula Vista, California.
And like you mentioned, Matt, going into the no-huddle offense here, and I'm wondering if that may be a case of last week. The offense really difficult to get anything going until they hit that fourth quarter, starting to run out of time, and really sped up the offense, and we see them pick that up here in the first quarter as well.
Second down and 10. It's a play fake from Bergman. He's looking deep, has a man wide open, and it looks like it's 21 with the touchdown, if I get it correct, Antoine Wafer for a huge touchdown.
36-yard pass to Wafer there, and a great reception. Wafer was wide open.
Wafer gets away from his man, puts his hands up in the air, and Bergman lays a dime on him, 6-0. Western Oregon now on the board early, 12:19 on the clock in the first quarter, awaiting the extra point.
Yeah, really marched down the field, and a great opening drive for Western.
And after After missing 2 PATs a week ago, Western Oregon gets it on the board. They're up 7-0. You're listening to the Wolves Network on KWVT. Welcome back, everybody, to MacArthur Field. Well, that was a quick drive.
Yeah, 7 plays, 73 yards there. Only 2 minutes, 41 seconds it took Western to march down the field. And they went, was that 73 yards there?
Well, sort of the usual suspects is the way I look at it. Ryan Bergman had his coming out party in the final game against Humboldt State in 2012. Bergman scores or goes for 3 touchdowns, 320 yards, and Joe Harris, integral in that, in starting the running game, averaged 105 yards a season ago, and he got a couple of nice runs there early on to get his rhythm in this game as Western Oregon will now kick off 2 men back deep for the Lumberjacks. Looks like Chase Creveche, wide receiver, who caught 14 passes, is one of the receivers back there. Kickoff right down the middle of the field, and Creveche comes right underneath it. Gets it around his 18-yard line, trying to find some room to run, and not much happening there as the Lumberjacks will take over for their first possession here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looked like number 20 on the tackle there, Jacob Marlette. And so that's where the Lumberjacks will take over, ball just short of their 30-yard line.
Spencer Phillips coming out onto the sideline, or off the sideline for his first action here, his second game total of the season for the Lumberjacks. Went to Murray State, transferred here to Arcata, California to play for Humboldt State. This is an 0-5 team, and now kind of at a time where they're going to try to find their identity with a new quarterback in Spencer Phillips, who's in the shotgun and has 3 wide receivers out to his right. It's a quick toss immediately to Wyatt, and Wyatt will run off the right side and pick up a few yards on the play. Sanders, actually. Interesting. We thought we would see Wyatt in the backfield early on. Looks like they're going to go a different direction, and they bring in Jamari Sanders, who actually started the season as a defensive back.
So just to speak to how low they are on the depth roster here.
On their second play, it's going to be a pass out into the flat and immediately covered up. Good defense by Western Oregon there as they sniff out that play even before it starts. It's going to bring up, it looks like, what could be a first down, but it might be also a third and very short situation.
Yeah, and I think they are going to, oh, they did give him the first down here.
First down again. Okay, trips wide receivers out to the left for Phillips.
And that was Kyle Novak, number 89, with the reception there to the outside.
Wolves looking to blitz.
Yeah, it looked like they were sending number 40 off the side, Shane Kunze.
Kinsey, their leading tackler a week ago, now drops back in as it was a run up the middle by the Lumberjacks, but nothing happening there for Humboldt State as we see Sanders come off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Kinsey coming in with 15 tackles last week. Followed closely by Devin Wells, who added on 13 tackles.
There's another quick pitch out to Sanders, doing his best Barry Sanders impersonation and actually picking up the first down for the Lumberjacks as they take the ball out past midfield and into Wolfpack territory.
Yeah, nice little stutter step right there in the middle of the defense, and Sanders was able to pick up the first down for the Lumberjacks.
Phillips, almost small enough that he cannot see over his offensive line, is back to pass, rolling to his left, turns upfield, has a man wide open on the sideline. Coming out of the backfield, or the right side of the formation, is Kelakai Wadibia. Wadibia is their top play receiver, probably going to call his name quite a bit. Picks up the first down now. Humboldt State from the shotgun, man in motion. And Phillips will hand off to Sanders again, and Sanders trying to get some momentum on that right side and get anywhere, but the defensive line of Western Oregon all over that play, and it seems to be not working very well for the Lumberjacks so far, trying to keep things honest, but they're speeding things up now with a no-huddle offense. Phillips now looking to the sideline, maybe going to change up the play, number 14, as he walks up to the line of scrimmage. barking out new orders. Handoff comes to Sanders. They're going to try the other side. And everybody there, and the number 8, Craig Aikens, leading tackler for this Western defense, comes up with the easy play there.
Yeah, number 90, I believe it was 97 also, Ian McBride with that initial penetration. Slowed down Phillips just enough to let some of his other defenders get there.
Wadibia now at the bottom of our screen. Phillips in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers to his right side. Looking for Wadibia on the pump fake. He is open, and he catches it on his fingertips. A pretty pass thrown from Phillips. 9:02 on the clock and a 35-yard strike coming from the Eugene native to Wadibia. 7-6. Lumberjacks scoring right back.
Yeah, Wadibia lined up against Devin Campbell, number 6 for Western, a freshman. Put a move on him, and there you see, got wide open. The safety wasn't able to recover.
Chappell gets beat, and the safety trying to come over the top. Nothing going on there. It'll be Matt Bruder. I apologize for calling you Scott earlier in the game. Bruder now out for the point after attempt to tie up this score at 7 apiece. Kick is up, and it is good, and the Lumberjacks tie the Wolves at 7. We'll be back with more Northwest Athletic Conference action here on the Northwest Television Sports Network and KWVT. And you're back for kickoff here at MacArthur Field. 7-7 Lumberjacks and Wolves. It'll be Tapia with the ball from his own 5, running up the right side, looking for a block, going to the middle of the field, and a penalty flag on the play. Not sure what that's going to be, but my goodness, 6 minutes have barely evaporated, and we have 2 scores already.
Yeah, both quarterbacks story of the game, going 3 for 3 thus far, and a great drive there put together by the Lumberjacks. 8 plays, 70 yards in just over 3 minutes.
Spencer Phillips comes in for his backup duties, but now the starting quarterback, 3 of 3, 46 yards, and that 35-yard touchdown to Wadibia. A beautiful play, and you can't forget Ryan Bergman.
First down for Western Oregon.
Holding going to be called on Western Oregon. They're going to have to back this up. They're going to start their second possession of this first quarter inside their own 20-yard line. But Ryan Bergman, we talked about it, not really an accurate passer, but today 3 of 3, already has the long touchdown to Wafer, a 36-yard strike that he had on their opening possession, and he'll go back to work now, and he'll have Morris in the backfield with him again.
Yeah, and just to let you know how much...
Correction on the number, it was number 34.
There we get a correction from the referee. Just let you know how much the Wolves actually passed the ball. Like you said, not the most accurate quarterback, but still is second in league in total offense thus far with 257 yards per game. And also, I believe he is ranked second in scoring, third in scoring as well. So just let you know how much they do pass the ball.
Bergman gives it to Harris. Harris goes up the middle, shucks off a couple of would-be tacklers, and will pick up 9 yards on first down. It'll be second down and short for the Wolves here.
Harris carries the ball for 11 yards on first down for the Wolves.
So nice run there by Harris. Making a few men miss before he was finally taken down there by number 27 for the Lumberjacks, Kevin Cooper.
Leighton Panui now in the backfield. It's Reeve in motion for Bergman. Bergman going to pass, but they'll stop the play right there as there's a penalty on the play. I expect it to be a false start on Western Oregon.
False start, number 55 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, down remains 1.
And so after coming out with their first drive, marching right down the field, Western's come out with 2 penalties now, one on the kickoff and one on this second first down series.
First down and 15 for Bergman and the Wolves. Harris is going to run off the right side, and he's immediately tackled after he picks up about 5 yards by number 12, Ryan Moreno, linebacker, 6 foot, 225, sophomore.
So it'll bring up second down. There you see on the replay,
Second down, 10 yards.
Nice job of even picking up the 5 there. Defense did a nice job of penetrating on that play.
Bergman fakes a pass out to the right, gives it back to Harris underneath, but only a couple yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and long now for Western Oregon on their second possession as number 10 enters the game, Timothy Simpkins, for the Wolfpack. As they'll see what they're going to do here. Reeves and Savoy will be out along with Hurd and Tyrell Williams in this formation for Bergman and the Wolves, as it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 29-yard line. Defense drops back for the Lumberjacks. Bergman, plenty of time, finds a man in the middle. It's Savoy. Savoy at the 40, trying to get away from the one defender. Takes him all the way down to the 25-yard line. 21 plus about, 25 is about a 46-yard play in my book. A great 3rd down call from Arn Ferguson and the coaching staff of Western Oregon. Bergman, plenty of time. The pocket doesn't collapse around him at all. Savoy wide open at midfield, and he does the rest, taking the ball down to the 25-yard line.
Great pass there on 3rd down, picking up a monster at first. And Ronnie Hicks finally, number 25, with the tackle.
Simpkins with a run there off the right side. He's drawn out of bounds by the Lumberjack defense. 6:55 on the clock in a game that's tied at 7. We've seen 2 big pass plays from Bergman and Phillips that gives us our score of 7-7. But Western Oregon coming back right after they got scored on, and a big play from Bergman to Savoy is what's happened in this drive so far. Tyrell Williams, the big play and leading receiver for the Wolves, out on the far left side of this formation. Bergman in his typical shotgun position, hands the ball back to Simpkins for a second time. Again, Western Oregon really trying to commit themselves to that run, but so far, Harris has only been the effective back that they can use so far. Simpkins not getting much on his first 2 touches.
Yeah, the linebacker, Andrew Feaster, number 42, came up and met him right there in the middle. Not able to get much going with Simpkins, so it's going to bring up another 3rd down. They're going to say about 8 yards to go, ball on the 24-yard line.
3rd down and 8. James Depew now going to be in on the far left side along with Wafer and Reeve on the left side. Look for Bergman to look for these receivers. Bergman looking right, going to come back up, has to step up into the pocket. Pressure, feels it. He eludes it again, gets the ball out, and he finds Wafer open for a 1st down. I got to give that play credit to the offensive line, but Ryan Bergman, that mental clock was ticking in his head. Squares his shoulders, Wafer open for that 1st down.
Yeah, we'll see it on the replay here. Nice job of evading the pressure. Defense almost got their hands on him, but Bergman just made a couple moves, made the defense miss, and it's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 from the 10-yard line.
14 yards on that reception for Wafer. A little bubble screen designed for Williams. Williams trying to get away from the tacklers, but pushed out of bounds by Andrew Feaster, who we're calling his name quite a bit now for the Lumberjack defense, but Williams' his first touch of the 1st quarter.
Yeah, he didn't pick up any there, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to move, just over 5 minutes to go here.
Bergman going to look to his right on the slant, pass intended for Reeve. And Reeve, I know, has the hands to catch that ball, Zach, but when I think about Michael Reeve, I think about putting it up somewhere when you're 6'7", that he basically can post up his defender and he can go catch the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the majority of his catches last week came on throws like that. This one a little bit down and away, and Reeves just wasn't able to bring it in here, so it's going to bring up another 3rd down here on this drive. The last 2 third downs, Wolves were able to pick up a 1st down here, so they will have to score. They cannot pick up a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here.
5 defensive backs shown by the Lumberjacks. It's going to be a lob pass into the end zone. Pass is intended for Williams, but he's pushed out of bounds. Even if he would have caught the ball, I think he would have been deemed to be out of bounds. It's going to bring up an opportunity for the special teams to come out and try a field goal, but as that pass is lofted up, Williams was really the only player that could have caught that ball.
Yeah, nice corner of the end zone throw, but may have been just a step too far. And so, like you said, the special teams will come on the field. Last week missed 2 extra points, and in a nail-biter, losing by 2, they were vitally important. So let's see if they can get the kicking game off to a good start here.
Van Brunt with a 27-yard kick. The signal goes up, and the Wolves have scored on their first 2 possessions, now lead 10-7 over Humboldt State. You're watching Western Oregon football on KWVT. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. It's Alexander Brandt with that field goal, number 38 for Western Oregon, giving us our score of 10-7. Give us a breakdown on that second possession for the Wolves, Zach.
Yeah, great drive there put together. 72 yards, 11 plays, just over 4 minutes. And it looks like Crevichet with the return here.
Crevichet makes a man miss, doesn't he? Hits the left sideline and tripped up out of bounds. And I got to tell you, Crevichet is leading, or his reputation precedes him. 14 catches a week ago, like we mentioned, hasn't seen a catch yet. But that was one short of an all-time record for Humboldt State. But Crevichet here goes into the middle, and nobody can see him. He's so small. Gets out to the left side, has some room to run, and finally tripped up by a Western defender.
Yeah, it was number 40, Shane Kinsey. We've called his name a lot, making what most likely was a touchdown-saving tackle there. But the Lumberjacks will start off with great starting position here on this drive. Ball on the 43-yard line.
Crevichet in a bunched receiver set on the left side for Phillips. Phillips now under pressure. He's running away from it. And coming from behind, a nice play there by 44.
Devin Wells, again, the leading tackler for the Wolves.
I remember long ago when a team in Oklahoma wore number 44, Brian Bosworth. He looked like the old Bosworth of old there on that play, taking down Phillips there. It'll bring up second down and long from the 45-yard line. Phillips back in the shotgun. He'll toss it out. Oh, ball's up in the air and up for grabs. There's a turnover. They cannot return it, but this has been the story of the season for Humboldt. If it hasn't been that they've had injury after injury, they give the ball away. They've actually had 12 interceptions. They had 4 turnovers a week ago against Central Washington, and now great field position and a chance for the Wolves to extend this lead.
Yeah, and we're going to see it on the replay. A disciplined play there by Shane Kinsey, again calling his name. And Kinsey, the ball being fumbled there, not going after the ball, laying his helmet right in the middle of the chest of the offensive player, making the tackle, and one of it just relying on his team there to come up and get that fumble, and they did. So a great defensive play there by Kinsey yet again. And so, like you said, great starting position here for the Wolves. Ball on the Lumberjacks 40 here with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Ryan Bergman back to action, 6 for 8 in the game so far, 115 yards, a touchdown.
Play game, offense, 5-yard penalty, down remains 1.
First down and 15 on the third penalty called so far on Western Oregon this afternoon. Maybe the only thing that's gone wrong for them so far. Maybe a little bit of a lapse in their secondary. But so far leading 10-7 here at MacArthur Field. It's homecoming weekend here in Monmouth, Oregon, and Bergman will go back to position 2 men now in motion, getting ready to set. A set we have not seen at all today. 4 wide receivers out to the right, set up for the screen for Williams. And Williams really showing his athleticism is number 27. Kevin Cooper misses the first tackle on Williams, and Williams gets back a lot of yardage.
Yeah, may have picked up about 4 yards there. Like you said, the first time we've seen that wide receiver set thus far. Nice job of his fellow receivers blocking for him.
Clock moving around 3:30 here in the first quarter. Western Oregon leading 10-7 over the Lumberjacks. Ryan Bergman in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers out to the left, looking in that direction. Pass is tipped, it looks like. Not quite sure, but the pass was intended for Savoy. Savoy gets it short-armed. It'll bring up a 3rd and long, where we've been talking about Western Oregon has had to live most of this season and not having good success early, but 2 big conversions on that last drive. Get another opportunity right here.
Absolutely. A nice job of Western picking up their 3rd downs thus far. And so they will face another 3rd and 6 yards here. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Harris is in the backfield. Motion on the line, we'll wait to see, but it's going to be a false start coming from the far line judge.
Yeah, another penalty against Western.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 3.
So 4 penalties for Western thus far. Only still 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. So last week we saw a lot of penalties, but it was actually coming on the other side of the football from Azusa Pacific. And thus far, some mental mistakes here. Let's see if it'll cost them. It's going to move them back to a 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 now.
Bergman stepping up in the pocket, has to watch out as defenders collapse around him, and he's taken down quite easily by Cameron Buell, freshman, 240-pound out of Citrus Heights, California. Pretty easy play for the defensive lineman, and it's going to bring out Brandt for the punt.
So finally that penalty cost them there. See a nice job of the defense closing down on Bergman, not letting him escape like he was able to on that last drive. And so it's going to be 4th down and 15, ball on the 45-yard line.
Giovanni Olivas, it looks like, is back deep around his own 10, calls for the fair catch. Ball goes into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. We'll keep it right here.
So the play is touchback.
Defense will come back out for the Wolves as they cannot cash in on that turnover that came from the Lumberjacks deep in their own territory. Couldn't pick up that first down, and it'll be the Lumberjacks with the ball from their own 20-yard line, 2:39 to go in the first quarter. Zach, what are your thoughts so far as about 12, 13 minutes have expired in this game?
Yeah, nice job of Western coming out on their first drive and scoring. Lumberjacks were able to match that, but both teams coming up with turnovers now. Well, Lumberjacks turned it over. Well, the Wolves had the punt there, so both drives for both of these offenses ended prematurely.
Phillips ends up rolling to his right, blocked out by the post in front of us, but it's a wide receiver getting a catch for the Lumberjacks, and it'll be a quick first down for Humboldt as the chains will move as the ball will be placed near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like number 85 on the reception there, Kat Kasuka.
Phillips will now operate 3 wide receivers out to his left. Chappell, one of the defensive back, as well as Kinsey out there doing duty. Ball handed off again to number 19. And Jamari Sanders is stuffed behind the line. Lots of celebration going on there for the defensive line of the Wolves.
Yeah, and we'd called it earlier, both these offenses having a hard time getting their running game started thus far this season. And you mentioned to me earlier before the game started, Matt, that this is actually the first game that the Lumberjacks would say they have their starting offensive line in there. So even that being said, still not able to get much going on the ground thus far.
Sanders gets the ball this time. He'll pick up quite a few yards, and it'll make it 3rd down.
Yeah, just as we said that, Sanders able to pick up 10 yards there.
A.J. Hull coming off the field, freshman for Western Oregon. Patrick Tapia back in his normal safety position. Back there along with Roger Garrett doing the duties at free safety and strong safety. Timeout going to be called.
Timeout, Humboldt.
We'll be back
First charge, timeout of the half.
We'll be back right after these messages on the Northwest Television Sports Network on KWVT Channel 17. Picking up action here at MacArthur Field. It was Spencer Phillips running off the right side on that 3rd and 1 play, picking up an easy first down for the Lumberjacks as they're now in Western Oregon territory. Spencer Phillips not looking like a guy that's a 3rd-string quarterback right now.
Yeah, there you saw on the replay. Nice job of Phillips picking up that big 3rd and down and 1 yard to go.
Phillips going to pass now. Going to find Sanders out of the backfield. Good blocking in front of him. Ooh, but a nice tackle in the open field. Couldn't quite see. We're going to want to see the replay on that down there, Booth. Big time.
Yeah, I know Kinsey was holding him up. It looked like I couldn't quite tell who it was that came in and laid the hit on him.
Best I can tell, it might be Roger Garrett, but not quite sure on the play. But Phillips will go back to work. 2nd down and about 10. Changing up the play is Phillips. Twin wide receivers right and left in this formation for the Lumberjack offense. Play clock down to 5 now. Phillips calls for it. He's going to pass. Nobody open. Throws on the sideline, and maybe the wise play there as he has nobody open, throws it out of bounds. It'll bring up third down and long for this Lumberjack offense. 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and a fairly eventful first quarter, seeing Western Oregon on top by a field goal at 10-7.
And so like you said, third down and 8, ball on the 42-yard line there for the Lumberjacks.
Phillips now gives the ball to Sanders. No, fakes it. He's going to have to run himself. He's being chased down by defenders. Has the sideline. Carries out a little bit more yardage and doesn't get any help at all from the Western sideline, and a late flag comes in. Zach, what did you see?
Yeah, it was Kinsey with the push out of bounds here. Let's see if it was late. They threw 2 flags there. And my guess would be a late hit, but it seemed like he was still skating the sideline there.
Controversial call may be coming here. We'll wait and see. It looks like, yeah, great their job on the replay. As Kinsey basically pushes it at the sideline.
Dead ball, personal foul, gets number 40 in the defense. The penalty will be marked half the distance to the goal. It also carries an automatic first down with it. That is the end of the first quarter.
Well, the first quarter ends on a penalty. We'll talk about that and more when we come back after our first quarter timeout on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT Channel 17. Glad to have you back here in Monmouth, Oregon. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag. Really fun first quarter. Wolves on top 10-7 over the Lumberjacks. Pretty offensive, explosive first quarter for both teams. Western Oregon with 7 first downs, and now Humboldt State with 8, looking for their 9th as they're on the 14-yard line after that penalty on the late hit from Kinsey on Phillips. Phillips now handing it off to Sanders, going up the middle, picking up 4 or 5 yards from my vantage point.
Yeah, you were telling me during the break, Matt, 5 penalties for 40 yards now. So penalties really hurting the Wolves thus far. All those coming in the first quarter alone.
Second down and 6, now ball on the 10-yard line as Phillips will do duty from the shotgun. Trips wide receivers out to his right. Looking to his left, man wide open. Looks like from our vantage point, Casey Mintz. Was it a number 11?
We'll see here on the replay. Number 18, yeah. Wadibia again with the big reception there, getting them the first down. So it's going to be first down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Ball goes out to Sanders on the pitch, and he's got nobody there except for, it looked like Chappell to make a hit, but Humboldt State will go in and now take the lead on the touchdown, the 3-yard touchdown coming from Jamari Sanders, playing in place of Richie Aduli. Richie Aduli, the 1,600-yard running back a year ago, but Sanders now laying down his shoulder, running Chappell over into the end zone, and the Lumberjacks on top now, 13-10, looking to push their lead out to 14-10. Bruder with the extra point attempt for the Lumberjacks. Kick is up, signal is good, and Humboldt State coming on the road, now on top 14-10. We'll be back with more Western Oregon action on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT. In Monmouth, Oregon, Matt Palumbo and Zach Louis-Tag in a very exciting first half of football here in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. The Lumberjacks coming here on the road, leading 14-10, kicking it off to the Wolves here at the beginning of the second quarter. 14 minutes on the clock in the first half. And picking up the ball for Western Oregon, running up the right side. They'll get it past the 25-yard line, and the offense will go back to work.
Yeah, I believe it was Dustin Hurd on the return there. So bringing it back just short of the 30-yard line. And so thus far, the Lumberjacks living up to what they're known for on the offensive side of the ball. 3 drives, a lot of passes, and also a turnover. Surprisingly, though, they have ran the ball 14 times thus far. Just over a minute here into the second quarter.
From my vantage point, it might look like we have Ryan Bergman in the backfield, but I couldn't tell. Actually, it wasn't Bergman. It was a wildcat set of some sort, and it was Spencer Van Brunt, actually, that took that particular hike and then went off to the left side.
Yeah, and here we see Bergman coming back in. So a handoff to Harris there to the outside. It'll be 2nd down and 7, 3 yards picked up on the run.
Ryan Bergman now set back to pass, looking to the right side. Going to come back to the middle of the field, has Reeve, and it slips off his hands. And it's the second time that he's profiled or set himself on Michael Reeve and thrown the ball a little hard to that 6'7" receiver who likes the ball closer, obviously, to his chest or even above his head.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Ball getting there pretty quick, and Reeves just couldn't bring it in, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Wolves.
So far, the Lumberjacks on the road not playing like a winless team that's 0-5. Actually look like they're playing for their lives. Reeve now in motion. Bergman set, gets the low snap. He's going to have to throw here on 3rd down, going deep again. Has a man open and actually outthrows Tyrell Williams. As he had the step and everything, it would have gone for 6. The play was designed quite well, but unfortunately it will bring out the punting unit and the special teams here of Western Oregon as they will go 3 and out, starting in that wildcat set with Van Brunt to Harris, and then it ends on the long pass attempt to Williams, and it will bring out number 38, Alexander Brandt, doing the kicking.
Yeah, so nice job of Williams getting a step on his man, and unfortunately just couldn't bring it in, overshot. Looks like Cooper deep to return the punt here.
Good angled punt, actually goes right out the 31-yard line, keeping the ball away from Kevin Cooper. But right now, Western Oregon, reverting back to almost a week ago, they've seemed to have kind of had the mentality today that they want to bend but not break, but Humboldt has run the ball effectively enough that it's opened up big pass play opportunities for their receivers. Yeah. And right now, like I said, you bring out Phillips, and he feels like he's command, and this offense is getting better as the game goes on. Sanders will be in the backfield. Twin wide receivers left and right from the 30-yard line for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, Sanders already with 37 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Kinsey looked for the outside blitz there, but the quick pass going out to Brandon Katkasuka from Crescent City, the 175-pound sophomore, with his first catch of the game.
Yeah, picked up 4 yards on the reception there. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
No huddle offense coming from Humboldt. Sanders met by the defensive line, and Sapili Tuiamala comes up with a quick tackle. You can't miss him with all that flowing hair coming out of the back of number 93's helmet.
Yeah, great job of getting a penetration there right up the middle. And here you'll see it, just not letting that running back get anywhere. Fought through that block, did a nice job of bringing him down in the backfield, and so it'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now here for the Lumberjacks.
Spencer Phillips now has 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a bubble screen play, absolutely designed for their big play receiver.
Yeah, Chase Crevichet. Nice reception there, and it's going to be close. They are going to say he's just short here. It's going to be 4th down and 1, and it looks like the Lumberjacks are going for it.
Going to go for a quick play here, see maybe if they can draw him offsides, or maybe it'll be Phillips. Big momentum play here in the first half. Timeout will come for the Lumberjacks. We'll keep it right here and talk about what's going on right now. Got to tell you, Crevichet, we haven't had a chance to call that name yet, but they're on that play before. They design a play to let him get the ball, and a terminology I don't like to use, but very effective for Crevichet. Get him the ball in space and let him do work.
Absolutely. Not a very big receiver, coming in as a freshman from Corona, California. Only 5'9", 165 pounds, but in space he is quick.
Crevichet leading the team in catches this season, 41 on the season for 404 yards, almost a 1st down per touch, averaging 9.9 yards on the season. So he's a name and a number that you want to see Phillips keep calling if you're a Lumberjacks fan today.
Absolutely. We haven't got a chance much to talk about this Humboldt Lumberjacks offense, but coming into the game, they actually are last in league thus far. You wouldn't know it by seeing them tonight. But yeah, they come in ranked last in offense, last in defense, but really showing up for this homecoming game here at MacArthur Field. And so it's going to be a 4th down and 1, but it looks like they will send the punt team out now. May have just been trying to draw the Wolves offsides, and because they didn't, and it looks like number 6 back there.
Chappell back deep for Western Oregon. Humboldt State gets the punt off, end over end kick. Chappell running up underneath it. It was a fair catch. He gets it at his own 25-yard line. Ryan Bergman and the Wolves offense will come back out to play here in the second quarter, trailing by 4. 11:44 on the clock on homecoming weekend. Like we said, the rain has dissipated. It's a typical fall day, a little bit of crisp air out there, and Arn Ferguson and the Western Oregon Wolves looking to get back on track here, trailing by 4 in the second quarter in a big league game here in the Northwest Athletic Conference.
Yeah, Chris Campbell with the punt there for the Lumberjacks, and pinning the Wolves back on their own 25-yard line, and that's where they'll take over.
Bergman set to pass, finds Reeve this time wide open. The long-legged receiver tiptoeing like a ballerina down the sideline, and it's a big first down for the Wolves as they move the ball outside the 40 and near midfield, Zach. Yeah,
great block by Antoine Wafer there, number 21 for the Wolves. Let's see if we can see it here on the replay. Yeah, nice job of getting that DB tied up and opened up a huge lane for Reeves to skate down the sidelines, and so it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 42 now.
12-yard reception for Reeve. Harris gets the ball off the left side, keeps his feet moving a la Roger Craig and the old San Francisco 49ers there. Picks up 3 or 4 yards for the Wolves offense. Reeve coming back on the field after that 12-yard reception.
Yeah, good run by Harris on 1st down.
Man, you were talking about with the great block, Antoine Wafer out here, number 21, bottom side of our screen, left side of the formation. Reeve also on that side of the field as Bergman will call plays from the shotgun. Hands it off to Harris. No, it's a fake. And underneath the ball goes to Hurd. Nice little design play, slips a tackle, and number 29 comes up with the big stick, Travis Hansen, but not before the Wolves pick up a 1st down and march into Lumberjack territory.
Yeah, looked like Hurd could have been brought down with a small gain there, but did a nice job of breaking the tackle. And there we'll see on the replay, nice job picking up an extra 10 yards after that first initial contact.
Robert Savoy back in there. There's a receiver. That's a big 46-yard reception earlier on in the first quarter as Bergman will have Harris in the backfield and Tyrell Williams out far right in this formation. Lumberjack showing blitz, picked up nicely by the Wolves offense, and Harris met again by number 29 2 times in a row, calling Travis Hansen's number. 6'2", 225-pound senior.
Yeah, and we mentioned it'd be important for the Wolves to get it going on the ground. Harris thus far with 44 yards, so not too bad, especially if you compare his statistics for last week. They really weren't able to get much going on the ground, but a 12-yard run as a long for Harris thus far.
2nd down and 7. Bergman going to pass, looking deep down the right side again. This time Williams underneath it, jumps up. Unbelievable. Oh. Looked like Williams was going to make an acrobatic catch. He really timed it well with the DB draped all over him. Bergman fades back, puts plenty of air underneath it for his receiver, and just about scores a big touchdown there.
Yeah, it looked like number 20 for the defense there, defending the pass.
Jamal Jones breaking up that play at the last minute with Williams, who would have scored a sure touchdown. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7, ball on the 40-yard line of the Lumberjacks. And there's going to be a timeout called by Western Oregon. We'll be back after these messages on KWVT.
Western Oregon.
Seven for the Wolves. Ryan Bergman From the shotgun position at the bottom of the formation, Tyrell Williams almost scoring a touchdown earlier on in this possession. Bergman looking in that direction, finds it, but he ends up overthrowing his receiver. It'll bring up 4th and 7. Don't forget, on KWTV Channel 17, you must watch The Original Fishing, the award-winning Original Fishing, the West, Gary Lewis's Outdoors and Living Culture, Garden Time and Angler the West. All of these programs and more can be found on Channel 17 on KWVT. 4th down and 7, and it looks like Arn Ferguson and the coaching staff going to keep the Wolves out here. Trips wide receivers out to the right for the Wolves. Bergman set to pass. Has plenty of time. Now moving to his left. He's going to see if he can run for it himself. He's close, and he is going to pick up the first down. Really wise play. Ryan Bergman coming into his own today, not forcing the action on certain passes. The percentages are up, and then a great run there on 4th down and 7.
Absolutely. Bergman doing a nice job. No receivers were open at the beginning of that play. Waited for that defense to spread out just a little bit and was able to find a pocket to the outside lane and picked up a nice first down on 4th down and 7. Picked up about 12 yards there, so nice
Wolves
run.
Offense operating from the 27-yard line. Harris gets the ball, marches it down maybe to around the 25-yard line. Harris really doing the yeoman's work out there today, or kind of the building blocks to this offense today. Now carrying the ball for a 10th time for 46 yards, around a 4.6 average if you're keeping statistics at home. Harris still in the backfield with Bergman, as it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Wolves offense. Nice roll out to Reeves, and Reeves will get his 2nd reception here in the 2nd quarter, and another first down for Western Oregon as they will move inside the red zone.
And they may mark him down just short. Hard to tell on that far side of the sideline, but a nice reception there, picking up what will be about 9 yards there for Reeves.
3rd down and short now inside the 20-yard line, approximately the 17.5-yard line. It'll be for Western Oregon. As they do get into the red zone, if they do pick up this first down, they are getting touchdowns around 84% of the time. So this is an area where Arn Ferguson and Western Oregon's been effective. Bergman underneath center, Harris now the tailback. Play action pass going to come from the quarterback. Oh my goodness, it was going to be the halfback option there. Coming from Harris, he had Hurd wide open. He just threw it about 14 yards behind him.
Yeah.
I think that surprised even all of us here.
Yeah, you saw Harris react to it. Probably thinking, I'm not going to get a chance to do that again.
Didn't quite work out, but here we are again, 4th down and 1. Obviously, it was Bergman calling his own number with no receivers last time on that 4th and 7, but now he's got a big man in the backfield. Can't quite see who it is. I believe it is Akins coming in as a lead backer here, and the ball goes off. And they run it up the middle. They'll pick it up, and we'll have to look at this when he comes out from underneath the pile. That was not Harris who had that run there.
I can't quite tell. I believe it's number 48.
Kanangata. William Kanangata. We don't get to say that name very often, and when we do, we want to make sure we say it right. Kanangata with the big first down.
A defensive lineman put in there at a tailback and did a nice job of just ducking his head and bowling his way over, picking up a good game there on 4th down.
William is his first name, William Refrigerator Perry. Now Harris going out in motion. Bergman, the quarterback, and there's going to be a penalty flag on the play, which I think would have been a great play. His wafer already broke wide open there. The offense right now seems to be having fun the way that they're playing. Again, a little bit faster pace.
Offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty, down remains 1.
And again, I'm wondering if that came from something they saw in the end of last week's game. The whole game wasn't really able to get much going on the offensive side of the ball. They came to the 4th quarter. They went to that hurry-up offense and really had huge success there against Azusa Pacific. So wondering if the coaches saw something there, figured they would implement some in the game plan tonight, and thus far doing a great job of getting the momentum going for the Wolves here on offense.
1st and 15, ball goes to Harris up the middle, and Harris will be stood up and shut down after maybe he picks up 3 yards on the play. Again, inside the red zone, a highly effective place for this offense for Western Oregon. Ryan Bergman today, highly effective as well, 10 of 17, 159 yards, and a touchdown so far, as Western Oregon still trailing on the board 14-10, but do feel like if they can get a score here that they can seize control in this game.
Absolutely. Feels like they're putting together their longest drive of the game thus far. Definitely chewing up a lot of clock here in the second quarter. 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go.
Lumberjacks did show a little bit of pressure there, but Bergman has a man open. Wafer covered quite well there in the formation by Marcus Graves, defensive back, 176-pound junior from Pasadena, California, all over Wafer. Wafer already with a really big reception in this game in the first half.
Yeah, number 29, Travis Hansen for Humboldt State, got in there, put some pressure on the quarterback. Bergman just had to get rid of it and unfortunately overshot his receiver there.
Wolves now in 3rd and long, seems to be a commonplace for this offense in the first half, as there'll be 3 wide receivers out to the left of Bergman in this formation, looking to his right, now going to come back to the middle, steps up, and he'll be sacked immediately as he doesn't have time to get rid of the ball. Defensive backs, we like to call that probably a sack that you'd give to the secondary on that play. They did their job effectively, quite well there. Bergman, not enough time to get rid of that ball or held on to it too long.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see who the defensive player was there that got the sack on the quarterback, but it will bring up 4th down and long, 4th and 18 from the 22-yard line.
39-yard kick coming up for Western Oregon.
And we did see a fake. It wasn't on a field goal last week. It was on a punt.
Jose Correa with the kick. Whistle is blown dead, and they're going to call a timeout on the field. Not quite sure what Western Oregon.
Before the snap, timeout, Western Oregon. Second charge, timeout half.
We'll keep it right here. Really stalled out after a couple of nice plays to Michael Reeve to get him into this game and to get him as a part of the pass offense, but now they're left with a 39-yard field goal, and I don't expect that they called that timeout maybe to think about going for it, but maybe that they are. Really what we've seen today is a team that's playing more disciplined, and as we talked about last week, we're not quite sure they even woke up till the 4th quarter of that game, trailing by 15 with 5 minutes to go at 34-19, and they understand now that they're in a dogfight of the game in conference play with a winless team, and like we said at the beginning of this game, Zach, home is not the friendly confines that it should be, with teams winning, only 33% of the time so far in conference play.
Absolutely, and as we talked about before, although this Humboldt State team is coming in winless, they were actually picked preseason to be the #1 team in league. Just had a lot of injuries, injury prone thus far. A lot of starters out, but finally having their first full offensive line back, their starters back in there.
Correa now has plenty of leg underneath it, gets it up, and the signal is going to be wide right as the first kick went through, but the timeout was called. It'll be 14-10, Lumberjacks over the Wolves when we come back after these messages on the Northwest Television Sports Network, KWVT.
Field goal's no good.
Welcome back to MacArthur Field. We're looking down around the 25-yard line after that missed field goal attempt for Western Oregon. There's a penalty flag on the play. Experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties.
Holding on the offense, number 40. Be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. The down will remain 1.
Well, a holding penalty called that is going to allow the Humboldt Lumberjacks to take over the ball, but they'll take it 10 yards farther back. I don't think the referees had quite the continuity on that they were looking for. Phillips will go to work with 4 wide receivers, 2 out to his left and 2 out to his right. Phillips pumps and then goes out, short arms it.
Yeah, so ball in the dirt there. No chance for his receiver to bring that in, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 20 now.
Ball on the 12-yard line. Dangerous time here for the Lumberjack offense. And Spencer Phillips.
Yeah, with the Wolves down here late in the second quarter, definitely would be great for their momentum to keep the Lumberjacks here deep in their own territory. They'd get great starting field position.
Crevichet was the intended target, and he missed him. Goes right back in his direction. Spin move coming from the freshman. He'll pick up about 7 or 8 yards on the play, and every time he touches the ball, it feels like it's lightning in a bottle that's about ready to explode. Crevichet, 14 catches a week ago. Like we said, 1 short of a team record. Crevichet will be on the right side on this 3rd down and 13. Ball on their own 19-yard line. And Phillips will have 3 wide receivers out to his right.
Shane Kinsey and Roger Garrett out there for the tackle.
Good pressure coming, ball going up over the top. And just through the hands of the intended target. Good old Wadibia was going to be the one that was going to catch that ball. And very fortunate, the Wolves on the backside of that defense as Phillips throws a great ball here just past the outstretched arms of his intended target. And they dodge a big bullet here, and it'll be an opportunity for Western Oregon maybe to put some pressure on the kicker here, as A.J. Hull will be about the 45-yard line waiting the kick from the Lumberjacks. Kick is good, end over end. Hull going to get it at the 40-yard line. Good block comes from Aiken, spinning away is Hull, but covered up. The Lumberjacks stop him right around the 40-yard line, and plenty of whistles being blown as the game is starting to pick up a little bit more energy in regards to the hits and to that general feeling of a strong conference game against a team, like we said, that is winless on the season, and Western Oregon wanting to get back on the winning track here at home and get themselves in position to maybe compete for the Great Northwest Athletic Conference title here, as they lost a game a week ago to Azusa Pacific, now trailing 14-10, 4:21 on the clock, and the Wolves come out on offense here, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, after that loss, now 2-2 in league, 2-3 overall are the Western Oregon Wolves, but they have great starting field position here on this drive, 42-yard line.
Play fake goes to Harris, getting the ball on the little wide receiver screen, or Leighton Panui. Panui coming out of the backfield, slips out from underneath everybody. Hard to miss a man his size, kind of escaping out there, but a nice little relief valve there for Bergman on the 1st down play.
Yeah, Bergman just lofts it out there, as you see on the instant replay. And a big pickup there, just short of the 40-yard line now, so it'll be on the other 42.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the 1st half. And the ball, Bergman throws it for Williams, his intended target, but just a wee bit behind him, and it'll be an incomplete pass, as Ryan Bergman has really gotten a tempo and a composure in this game that's allowed him now to go 11 of 20 in the game for 175 yards. And on the season, he actually has been very effective in regards to getting yards, but that percentage after starting 3 for 3 in the game is starting to come down, as maybe he's forcing it a little bit too much. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 on the 42-yard line for the Wolves offense. Bergman goes right back to the air, and it was batted down by Andrew Feaster. Feaster basically anticipates that play and celebrating with other defensive players after that play.
Yeah, nice job of Feaster getting his hands on the ball, rising up there. And so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 now. Ball still remains on the 42-yard line. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go here before halftime. And like you said before, Matt, Bergman doing a nice job of finding his receivers, but still pass completion right around 50%.
Harris now in motion. 2nd time we've seen this as a decoy. Ball's on the ground, and it was basically an intended shovel pass. It was a design play bringing Harris out of the backfield. They were going to go ahead and pitch the ball forward and see if they could pick up. It's kind of a hybrid of the delayed draw play. It's a dangerous play. A person by the Brett Favre in the NFL made it a very famous play. You'll even see his predecessor, Aaron Rodgers, occasionally pull off that play for the Green Bay Packers, but it'll be a punt here for Western Oregon, back deep. All day I've struggled inside the 10-yard line for the Lumberjacks. Haven't quite picked up a number all day. Could be Ricky Sims, but I'm not quite sure. Low snap on that, end over end, and it takes a very favorable bounce for Western Oregon. And Western Oregon is claiming that this ball glanced off glanced off one of the intended or possible receivers for the Lumberjacks. A.J. Hull very aware, picking it up, falling on it, and the Wolves will get it back in great field position. I don't know if we're going to get a replay of this, but the way that A.J. Hull ran at that ball, Zach, he almost knew immediately it had been touched by somebody on Humboldt State.
Yeah, nice aware play there by Hull. Doing a great job. It was Kevin Cooper back there to receive. I do not believe that's who it touched.
Ball hit the receiving team. Kicking team recovered the ball. Be first and 10 for Western Oregon.
Big break coming for Western Oregon there, and a very alert play from the freshman A.J. Hull. We're not quite sure who it hit, but inside the red zone from the 10-yard line, Ryan Bergman gives the ball to Harris. Harris running up the middle, and it's a touchdown.
Just like that, the Wolves getting the ball within their own 10-yard line, or excuse me, the Lumberjacks' 10-yard line, and on a first down run, Harris is able to take it right up the middle for 9 big yards.
This is a team in Humboldt State now that has 2 turnovers in this game. That's 27 on the season in 6 games. Reminiscent of another team at the most highest level, the New York Giants. You cannot turn over the football and expect to win football games. Costly turnover here, turned into points, 16-14, waiting for the extra point from Western Oregon to see if they can push it out to a 17-14 lead. Kick is up, and it is good. The point after attempt is on the board, 17-14, Western Oregon over Humboldt State, here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT Channel 17. MacArthur Field alive and well this afternoon. Humboldt State visiting for homecoming weekend, and Western Oregon taking advantage of a turnover, the second in the game for the Lumberjacks. It's a one-play, 10-yard drive. Joe Harris going in for the touchdown. It's a 17-14 game. Coming underneath the ball for the Lumberjacks around his own 10-yard line, number 19. Got plenty of room to run, but he'll be chased down. Watch out for the horse collar, but it's Jamari Sanders starting tailback, and the penalty flag is down, and we're pretty sure it'll be a horse collar or personal foul call, as the replay will show here, running far out to the left side, coming in at the last moment. Looks like it's going to be 35. Nope, 29 coming in.
Yeah, it's Akina coming in there. And brought him down, but brought him down too high, and it will be a horse collar penalty here. So the Lumberjacks will have great starting field position. Let's see if they can get something going on this drive before half. 3 minutes, 24 seconds to go before halftime.
Waiting for the official call, but it will be a horse collar or personal foul call. It will go against number 29, Akina, for Western Oregon, and it will give the Lumberjacks great field position to start here with 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first half. Here comes the call from lead referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding on the return team, the personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. Those penalties are going to offset. We will re-kick.
So a week ago, Zach, we were here, and a lot of things that could go wrong did go wrong, obviously, for Western Oregon, and I feel like the slipper now is on the other foot, and it feels like it's on Humboldt State this afternoon. It's penalties now. If I have a count here, Western Oregon 6 for 44, but just little simple things, obviously, for Humboldt State. The 2 turnovers there and that holding there now nullify what would have been great field position. And again, actually, what it will cause here is a re-kick, not actually the ball being taken over. Interestingly enough, they didn't let us know that in their explanation of what happened.
Yeah, so we'll do it all over again here.
Chase Crevichet, Jamari Sanders back deep, both on their own 5-yard lines, anticipating the kickoff from the Wolves. Either one of these players capable of a game-breaking play. Kick straight down the middle, fairly good one. Sanders will get it again, about the 12-yard line, picks it up, runs up the middle, gets it outside the 30, 35-yard line, and this time taken down by Taylor Wood.
So nice return there. They will start with the ball, looks like about the 35-yard line. And so it'll be 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go here before halftime as the Lumberjacks look to get something going, trailing the Western Wolves here at homecoming 17-14.
Spencer Phillip now 8 of 11 in the game, 88 yards and a 1 touchdown that was a 35-yarder. A nice play in the first quarter, but his team and the Lumberjacks now trailing 17-14. Bunch formation for the Lumberjacks. As Phillips will look over the middle and has Jamari Sanders wide open.
Looked like Tapia brought him down, but not before a huge gain right down the middle of the field with Sanders.
Looks like about a 30-yard gain there on first down, and it'll be no huddle. Lumberjacks go right back to work.
And they may want to think about slowing it down a bit. You don't want to give Western back the ball with too much time left. 2 minutes, 55 seconds to go as the clock continues to move.
Crevichet out to the right, but the ball going to go back out to Sanders for a second straight time. Ball goes out to Wadibia. Wadibia with a quick reception and a 4-yard pickup for Humboldt State. 2:35 on the clock and running. Second down coming up for this Lumberjack offense, trailing by 3.
And it was Kinsey with the tackle. So yet again, we call his name.
Marcus Graves now in the backfield for Humboldt State. Phillips calling for the ball, looking out to the right. Shifts his shoulders, now flushed out. Aikens looking for an angle to get to him. And the pass intended for number 85, Brandon Kakatsuka from Crescent City. 5'11", needed to be for about a 6'7" player. You don't have Michael Reeve, we do.
And Phillips telling his receiver, you need to turn in, but I think it was a case of overshooting his man there. Wouldn't have mattered if he turned in or turned out there. So clock will stop, 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9 from the 39-yard line here.
Cash Johnson, the lone setback behind Phillips. Crevichet and Wadibia are out in this formation. Ball goes up, and what a nice anticipation as Tapia came over to break it up for Kakatsuka.
And Tapia just a little bit upset there. It looked like number 6, Devin Chappell, came over, got his hand on the ball, and unfortunately Tapia actually was in prime position to intercept the pass. We'll see here on the replay.
Chappell and Tapia kind of get their streams crossed there. It'll bring up 4th and 9, and the Lumberjacks will have to punt it away here. A.J. Hull, after that great special teams play, will be deep in his own territory, planted firmly around the 10-yard line. He runs away from it, looking for that ball to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and it'll be exactly 2 minutes on the clock as Western Oregon will come out and see if they can extend this lead, as it just feels like they're a couple of plays away from really taking and seizing control of this game.
And Tapia coming off the field a bit slowly. It looks like he was shaken up a bit on that last play there.
Favoring his left arm, it looks like he was holding up his left arm.
Yeah, a big defensive player for the Wolves. Definitely wouldn't want to see him shaken up.
Gets himself a Gatorade bottle, holding on to his helmet, seems to be fine. The defensive unit for the Wolves today really coming up big at big times. Bergman, though, on first down, going to hold on to it again, and he gets absolutely drilled. A clean hit.
Looked like number 9 for the Lumberjacks.
Maybe Marcus Graves will look at that. I've had Johnson and Graves mixed up here, as we'll see as he runs out to the left side. He's flushed out.
Ball's on the Western Oregon 28-yard line.
We got blocked out again, but we'll say Graves or Johnson with the big hit. But it is positive yardage. 2nd down and 2, 8 yards for the quarterback on the play. 2nd and 2. Bergman set to pass. He's got a man open.
Reeve.
Great play. Oh, look at this. They're going to say that he didn't catch the ball as he falls to the ground. You'll see the ball pop loose, and he didn't control it. It'll be incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 2, 1:45 on the clock. Zach, great call there.
Yeah, we thought it was a reception. Nice throw. Reeve went up to catch it, and a nice job of the defender getting his hand in there.
Ryan Moreno breaking up that pass attempt to Reeve.
Yeah,
Bergman now forced on 3rd and 2, giving it to Harris. Harris will go off the left side. Stood up, and I don't think he got it, Zach.
No, did a nice job of keeping his feet moving even after the initial contact, but I think you may be right.
Big opportunity possibly lost here for Western Oregon is that they're going to have to punt this ball away back to the Lumberjacks, and we didn't quite get the coin toss.
Timeout. Humboldt State. 3rd and final timeout.
We'll step away on this break on KWVT. We'll be right back. Alexander Brandt with a big kick, gets it back, and immediately covered up by Western Oregon. It was Kevin Cooper taking it and around his own 33-yard line, but immediately Western Oregon is able to stop him. 1:29 on the clock, and now Western Oregon and the Wolves defense an opportunity to make a statement as they actually will kick away in the beginning of the second half, as it looks like they lost the coin toss early on in the game. So this is a point in the game where Western Oregon's defense is going to need to make a statement, and we've already seen today that Humboldt State, with a fresh offensive line and that first time playing together, giving Spencer Phillips the time he needs to make big plays happen to Crevichet and to other receivers. It'll be 1st down and 10 on the 34-yard line for the Lumberjacks as Phillips will go to work. Phillips comes to the right side. The pass is completed for 1st down yardage, and going out of bounds is Kakasuka. 3rd reception here in the first half. In the backfield now, Cash Johnson for the Lumberjacks. Max
Jackson with the tackle there for the Wolves, but not before the Lumberjacks picked up the 1st down. And so they're going to have to move quick here. 1:23 seconds to go here before half.
Johnson will get that, but he's immediately met after about a 4-yard gain in the middle. But positive yards, no huddle. Everybody set in back position here. Crevichet far left in this particular set. Phillips gets his pass tipped, and that's the 2nd time Chappell and Tapia were in an area where if it was just a second sooner, probably going to be an interception, as Akins comes off the field for Western Oregon, and coming in, a replacement, not quite sure who it was, but Akins coming off on this 3rd down and 6. Ball on the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Phillips looking for number 80, Nick Williams there, the sophomore, and just couldn't find him.
Phillips has plenty of room, finds that 1st down marker, and he's going to run, but the ball stays inbounds. They used their last timeout, so time's going to roll here. 45 seconds on the clock, or 47 seconds, but as soon as they set the ball, referees will start the clock again. Phillips imploring his offense now. Let's get this thing going. 45 and the clock rolling. 1st down and 10 for the Lumberjacks. Going to the air. Wadibia gets it for the 8-yard pickup, but the clock will roll.
Danny Hankins with the last 2 tackles in a row there, the DB for the Wolves, and that clock continues to run because they did not pick up the 1st down on that throw. Just over 25 seconds here.
Phillips looking to his left side, now coming back to the middle, has Crevichet wide open. It'll be 1st down yardage near the 10-yard line. And the Lumberjacks now going to go set, look to spike the ball here.
And the Western Oregon Wolves are going to call a timeout.
Western Oregon, 3rd and final timeout out.
Going to try to slow down this Lumberjacks offense.
In other news around the state, University of Oregon, number 2 in Seattle, playing the University of Washington, their first ranked opponent so far. Looks like it's 2nd quarter, and Oregon on top by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. They did get DeAnthony Thomas back today, and of course you can't probably forget their play caller and signal caller, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, border war, and so far it looks like Oregon has a good-sized lead there in the 2nd quarter.
Northwest Television Sports, proud to bring you all Great Northwest Athletic Conference action for Western Oregon and the football team this season. You can't forget October 26th. We'll be right back here for another action and more games to be called. It'll be Simon Frazier coming south of the border to visit Monmouth and Western Oregon. It'll be a 1 p.m. kickoff, as all kickoffs here at MacArthur Field are at 1 p.m. Thanks to KWVT and Northwest Television Sports. Also, don't forget, when you have time, award-winning The Original Fishing the West on KWVT Channel 17. Special thanks to all of our men and women down in the booth to make it possible today. It'll be first down and 10, 17 seconds to go. Ball placed on the 10-yard line, the 11-yard line, as Phillips will go back to work.
So they could theoretically pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown, but not much time left here before we go into half.
Ball lobbed up into the air, intercepted, kept in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Wonderful play.
Looks like
Garrett with the interception, number 26, coming off the field.
So nice job. We'll see on the replay.
So
Garrett.
the play is the touchback.
Dominic Aquina with the interception is 29 and 26. We got our 9s and our 6s backed up there, but 10 seconds to go. Western Oregon on top by a field goal at 17-14.
And Phillips was looking to his go-to receiver there, Waidibia, but unfortunately just couldn't get the ball to him. And so Western will take over, just 10 seconds to go. My guess is they probably will just sit on this ball, content to go into halftime with a 3-point lead in this closely contested matchup thus far.
Way for the deep back. You're exactly right. They'll take a knee and take this thing into halftime. Western Oregon on top 17-14 in a very spirited conference game between winless Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks. And Western Oregon and the Wolves leading by a field goal 17-14 here on the Northwest Television Sports Network, KWVT, Channel 17. Happy to have you here at MacArthur Field. It's halftime here on KWVT, Northwest Television Sports. A great contested battle between conference opponents, Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks, taking on Western Oregon and the Wolves at 17-14 at half. And if we were going to look at the tail of the tape, it's about as even Steven as you get. Zach, I am absolutely almost mesmerized by these numbers. 13 first downs for both teams, almost identical yards in the air, almost identical yards on the ground, and that's why we have a 17-14 game there.
Yeah, there we see some of the replays of these scores that we saw there in the first half. 2 touchdowns coming for the Lumberjacks. One there you saw in the air, and that one on the ground there.
Sanders with the touchdown, and this was after the really, really alert play from A.J. Hull on special teams that allowed Joe Harris on the first play after the turnover to march it in to give us our score of 17-14. Is again, we're looking at that tail of the tape, probably the thing that is going to be the biggest difference in this game, and it's been the difference for Humboldt from day one. They seem to not be able to hold on to the ball, coming in with a -7 turnover ratio. 3 more big turnovers today that have led to points here. They give us our score 17-14, now -10 for the season. And last week we talked about the time of possession, and Western Oregon, surprisingly enough, time of possession 16 minutes to 13 minutes for Humboldt State. And really, if you're Arn Ferguson and this coaching staff, homecoming so far is going as planned.
Yeah, absolutely. What really stands out, like you mentioned, Matt, on the stat sheet, pretty comparable numbers here, but 3 turnovers for Humboldt State really helped this Western offense get something going, get the momentum on their side, and so they will take that 17-14 lead into halftime.
One last thing to leave you with. 248 total yards for Western Oregon, 229 for Humboldt State. It's been a razor-thin game. It's 17-14 here on the Northwest Television Sports Network, KWVT, Channel 17. Coming up on the completion of halftime here at MacArthur Field, Matt Palumbo, Zach Louis-Tag, Northwest Television Sports, proud to bring you KWVT, Western Oregon University football and homecoming weekend at 17-14 at halftime. and really a really good first half for Western Oregon as they get momentum late in that half by cashing in on a late turnover by the Lumberjacks. Joe Harris scoring a touchdown, giving us our score of 17-14. A couple of things that you and I were talking about early on in the game, Zach. Turf warfare. We were talking about Western Oregon not doing well on third down, but there were several times actually in that first half that they were actually able to get some big third down conversions that allowed their drives to maintain.
Absolutely. Only 3 for 11, but those 3 that they got, like you said, big third downs that they were able to pick up. They are 2 for 2 on fourth down, so that may bring that mark up a little bit. They even though they didn't get it on some of those thirds, they went for it on fourth and were able to pick that up. And I know we talked about it a little bit before half, but the big thing that jumps out at both of us in the statistics, pretty well matched up, pretty even throughout the game, but the 3 turnovers for Humboldt State really shooting themselves in the foot there in the turnover battle. And that's been a habitual problem for them all season.
Looking also at Arn Ferguson, probably at halftime, the speech had to go something like this. Clean it up, boys. We've got 6 big penalties for 44 yards. That's giving the Lumberjacks an opportunity to stay in this game, and they are going to get this opening kickoff here to start the second half, as they did win that kickoff and they chose to defer to the second half. It'll be Crevichet and Sanders back deep. 15 minutes go on the clock, and I want to take special notice. I'm going to call out one player in the second half, and I'm going to see if I'm right. I could be wrong. Antoine Wafer is making it a habit of scoring 40-yard touchdowns. I was here about 4 weeks ago, and I got to see him score a 42-yard touchdown, has a 46-yard touchdown here in the first half as well, becoming one of Ryan Bergman's favorite targets. Sanders will run underneath it at the 15-yard line, and he will get action underway here in the second half, pushing the ball out past the 30-yard line, near the 35-yard line, where the Lumberjacks will take over for their first possession. And a plethora of yellow flags hit the green turf as something happened at the end of that play.
Some extracurricular activity there, some players getting it mixed up, some pushing and shoving, and we'll see who that's going to be called on. As we wait for the call here from the ref. And it looks like Western is moving like it's going to be against Humboldt State.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike foul on the return team. Be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, be first down.
Cameron Buell, I believe, is going to be the guilty party for the Lumberjacks, and it will give bad field position to Humboldt State as they start off.
The player's number was 46, number 46 of the return team.
Yeah, freshman is Buell, so not using his head there, making a costly penalty, pushing them all the way back now to the 18-yard line.
Spencer Phillips making best of his opportunity as a third-string quarterback. Has a big first half, 14 of 21 for 151 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. He'll go to work immediately, looking to pass on first down, and Akins comes up with a big sack in the backfield. And a great start for Western Oregon as their defense pins back their ears. It'll be a loss of yards on first down.
Yeah, Phillips thought he escaped that initial rush. You'll see him step up, and Akins did a nice job of shedding that block and taking Phillips down right there.
3 sacks now for the defense for Western Oregon. Phillips now will have 2 wide receivers out left and right. Sanders in the backfield. And second down and long here for the Lumberjack offense from the 13. Ball caught out in the flat by number 80. Nick Williams, wide receiver, 5'10" sophomore from Rockland, California. His first reception here. It'll be no huddle, but it'll be third down and long for Humboldt State to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I got it just past the initial line of scrimmage, so third down and what looks like about a long 8 yards to go here.
Kinsey on the outside, looking right in at Phillips, marking the eyes of the quarterback. He'll go into now coverage. Ball given to Sanders, as it looks like the Lumberjacks are content not to make anything bad happen here, and they'll be forced to punt on a 3-and-out on their opening drive in the second half. Zach, a great start for Western Oregon in that defense.
Yeah, nice job of the defense coming out of halftime, fired up, and they will force a 3-and-out for the Lumberjacks.
Chris Campbell going to be kicking from his own 10-yard line. It'll be A.J. Hull, special teams extraordinaire here for Western Oregon, back on around his own 35-yard line, waiting this punt. Looking like pressure going to be coming, but they'll drop back into formation. Campbell gets off the kick, and Hull will have room to run. Hull now trying to spin away from the first tackler, but he'll be met and taken down around the 42-yard line, and Ryan Bergman and the offense will come back out.
Nathan Sanchez, a junior defensive back, with the tackle there. And so great starting field position here on the first possession after halftime for the Western Oregon Wolves. They will take over with the ball on their own 42-yard line.
Joe Harris in the backfield, carrying the ball 12 times for 57 yards, about a 4.4 average if you're keeping statistics at home. And Harris will get that first play of the second half as they reward the tailback with a 4-yard pickup as the offensive line picking up where they left off in the first half, giving him some room to run.
Yeah, nice job of Harris taking it right up the middle, as you see here on the replay. Broke through the initial tackle. Well, actually, he eventually was brought down, but did a nice job of driving his feet and dragging number 95.
Bergman now looking out to the right. He pump fakes. He's going to spin around. Now he's on his left side. He's looking for a blocker, and he'll get down. And he will pick up a first down. And again, what we have seen today is the evolution, in my opinion, of Ryan Bergman. That pass percentage still kind of hovering around 50%, but now this is twice we've seen him, maybe even 3 times, take that ball down and run for positive yards.
And what's really helping him on the outside is his receivers going out to catch the ball, and as soon as they see Bergman take off, they turn into those pass blocking wide receivers there. Did a nice job of creating a lane.
Harris getting a great push from his offensive line and picking up 5, almost 6 yards on first down. And Western Oregon threatening here early in the third quarter as we see number 11 come back out, Spencer Van Brunt. First time we saw him, we saw a Wildcat formation, but he'll be a wide receiver far right on this particular play. Yeah. Bergman in the shotgun, Tyrell Williams, now Harris in motion. Empty. 4 wide receivers out there.
Empty backfield there on that play, but unfortunately just couldn't get it started. Penalty flags. Be interesting to see who moved.
Illegal snap, number 56, be a 5-yard penalty. Down remains 2.
Taylor King faking out everyone, as he must have done what we call the sort of phantom snap. As you're right, they go with the ghost backfield, and that's a play we might see a lot because we've basically seen today when Ryan Bergman and this team, Michael Reeve or anybody, Antoine Wafer gets into good space, they've been able to make positive things happen for this offense. Bergman set to go now, 2nd down and 9 on the 40-yard line. Reeve in motion, now set. Pass coming from Bergman. He's looking deep. He's got a man open. And, a terrible place to hit Tyrell Williams, unfortunately, as he runs right underneath it. And this is now 2 touchdowns. I feel like he could have, should have had. This one I definitely feel like he should have had. Take us through it, Zach.
Yeah, you'll see here on the replay a perfectly thrown ball where only his receiver can catch it. And unfortunately, Williams just not able to bring it in. Hit him in the hands, but just slipped right through. And so unfortunately bring up a big 3rd down and 9 yards to go now here. Ball on the 40-yard line.
Team struggling on 3rd down all year. The Wolves now will go back. It'll be Bergman stepping up in the pocket, looking for a receiver, finds Reeve. And Reeve back-to-back drops as he was on the yardage marker for that first down. Covered nicely by Marcus Graves, who would have been able to tackle him, but Reeve should have come up with that play. As Bergman now, if we look at it, those percentages are sort of misleading. Now it's his receivers dropping passes that he's throwing quite well. It'll force Western Oregon to have to punt on their initial drive here in the second half.
Yeah, nice job by Bergman getting the ball out. A little bit of pressure there on the defense, but the receiver just wasn't able to bring it in.
High kick, fair catch called for at the 15-yard line.
I think that was Cooper with the reception there on the punt. And so that's where the Lumberjacks will take over now.
16-yard line.
Western Oregon able to pin Cooper and the Lumberjacks inside the 20-yard line, letting Western Oregon go back to work on defense. But we know that's a recipe, unfortunately, for disaster for Western Oregon. When their defense has to spend a lot of time on the field, it does not bode well. Spencer Phillips and the offense coming back out. First time we see Sanders in the backfield here in the second half.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last week, and like you said, when the Wolves don't get much of that rest time for their defense, you definitely see a difference in their performance.
Ball run out to about the 20-yard line, and it's not Sanders in the backfield. Coming off the bottom of that pile. Actually, it is Sanders.
And it was number 90 on the tackle there for Western, George Schwartzlander.
Second down and 6. Ball on the 20-yard line. Trips wide receivers to the left. It's going to be a quick pass out. But covered up very nicely by Western Oregon and Chappell. Chappell makes the initial hit and follows through on Kakasuka. Kakasuka now 4 receptions here in the game for the Lumberjacks, as it'll bring up 3rd and long for Humboldt State. 10:18 on the clock, 3rd and 5 here in the 3rd quarter. Phillips now looking left, coming back to the middle. Has a man wide open, shoestring catch by Kakasuka. He'll take it out near the 30-yard line, around the 28-yard line, but good enough for first down yardage. And Humboldt State moving on now, fresh set of downs.
Yeah, great reception. We'll get another chance to take a look at it. Only needed 5, picked up about 10 yards there was Kakasuka. And so we'll keep that drive moving. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Little play flake coming from Phillips. Finds a tight end open underneath. John Kirkman, 6'5", 230-pound sophomore from Madera, California, came way of Sacramento State. Takes it out and almost picks up first down yardage there for the Lumberjack offense as he'll head off the field. Kakasuka now at the bottom of your screen. It'll be a quick 2nd down and 1. Maybe look for a big play downfield here. Sanders gets it off the right side, but snuffed out. And unfortunately, it looks like a penalty flag is going to be thrown on Western Oregon, as it was Naya with the face mask on that play. Tafiatolu, Naya, face mask will be called on Western Oregon. It'll be an automatic first down for Humboldt.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask on the defense, number 47. 15 yards in the run, carries an automatic first down with it.
Yeah, so nice pressure on the defense. Looked like he may have even taken him down without letting him get that first down, but unfortunately he did it by the face mask.
Penalty will now take Humboldt State onto the Wolves side of the field. 8 penalties now from what I can count for Western Oregon, and it's been a momentum killer for their defense, and it's kept Phillips and this offense going most of the day. Twin wide receivers left and right. Ball on the 46-yard line, first down and 10 for the Lumberjack offense, and they're going straight to the air and over the top. Kakasuka with the reception. Tapia forcing him out of bounds. Nice little rapport and relationship coming now between Phillips and Kakasuka.
Yeah, this drive, Phillips has really been targeting Kakasuka, and you've seen the results marching down the field. A great drive being put together by the Lumberjacks thus far.
21 yards on that first down play. It'll bring up a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, and Phillips is going to stay in the air, and Crevichet on a screen, cutting across the middle. A late penalty flag comes in, not before Crevichet gets very, very close to scoring a touchdown. Aiken's coming off the field, pretty sure that he thinks that penalty is going to go against the offense.
Yeah, the defense pretty fired up there. Not quite sure what happened. Let's see if we can see something on the replay. Nice screen pass.
Great blocking for Crevichet. Crevichet then gets into the crease, and he's about ready to go in there, but the penalty flag is thrown.
Oh, the ball did come out at the end of that play. And it looks like the Western Wolves.
Personal foul, low block against the offense. That penalty is declined. Results of the play, ball is recovered in the end zone by the defense. It'll be 1st and 10 for Western Oregon.
Well, we missed the fumble, Zach, that Crevichet made, making that great move. Also a personal foul, which would have nullified that run to begin with. But even worse news, we've been talking about it. Humboldt State's their own worst enemy. That's 4 turnovers in the game, and I just don't know how they can maintain any sort of continuity on their offense if they're giving the ball away, especially that close to scoring a touchdown.
Exactly, a great drive put together leading up to that turnover, and deep within the Western Wolves territory, they give the ball back.
Bergman looking to strike again. He's going to go deep for about the 5th time. And broken up. I mean, Tyrell Williams has got to be, he's going to go to sleep tonight and be dreaming of passes that could have gone for far more yardage. Their big play receiver averaging over 80 yards on the season, and probably their primary target when they are looking to target anything in the pass play. Again, broken up just at the last minute.
And that's Ronnie Hicks. It's the 2nd time tonight he's broken up one of those big pass plays. And just in case his receiver had a step on his man and just a little bit underthrown there by Bergman. If he could have let him just a bit more.
Bergman in trouble, being chased down. Now the ball loose. Western Oregon will fall on the fumble from Bergman, as it was big number 94, Josh Toney, defensive tackle, 276-pounder, chasing down Bergman, and he's going to bring up the 3rd and long opportunity again here for this Wolf offense that's really struggled. Bergman really has nobody open early on, and right here you'll see him as he runs out to the left. He's chased down from behind by Toney, who knocks the ball loose. Defensively today, really nice things coming from the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, number 61, Gayasoa, falling on it for the Wolves. So fortunately kept possession, but it's going to be a long 3rd down and 20 here.
Bergman again going to be forced out to his right. He's looking down the field, has a man open, Williams, but it's underthrown again.
Number 8 breaking up the pass attempt there for the Lumberjacks.
Marcus Graves, and I got to tell you, what I've kind of noticed from these defensive backs, it's not something that's taught by every single coach, but it's definitely being taught to them. What they're not doing is indicating to the receiver when that ball is going to arrive, and they've been able to break up these plays at the very last moment, getting their hands in there. And unfortunately, Bergman now, 11 for 26, has had multiple opportunities to blow this game open. Look at now creeping in here, as it looks like from their end zone they'll be punting. Punt is off.
And it looks like Cooper there.
Cooper runs away from it, and it takes a very good bounce for Western Oregon, but Humboldt State will take this ball over in Western Oregon territory and have a short field to work with, trailing by 3 at 17-14 here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT. Zach, I'm glad to have you here today. Tell you, I feel like Western Oregon kind of getting away with a little bit here, a little sloppy to start the 3rd quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. The turnovers for the Lumberjacks really what's keeping this lead for the Western Oregon Wolves. They themselves have been struggling with penalties, but those turnovers are really what's making the difference thus far in this great matchup on KWVT Channel 17.
Phillips now going to fake it, has a man wide open, and he might get called for a late hit here, but they don't get it. Yeah, Wadivia looking up going, hey, I didn't catch the ball. How come he hit me like that?
Yeah,
so go ahead, shucking his shoulders right there is Phillips looking for Wadivia.
Roger Garrett.
Coming up all Ronnie Lott trying to hit right through him on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line for the Lumberjack offense. Crevichet in the slot on the right side here for Humboldt State. Looking that direction, Crevichet gets it again. He'll hold on to it this time, but he will pick up 1st down yardage, and Crevichet starting to get his name called and making a real impact here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Garrett again with the tackle, but Crevichet, a shifty player, seems to be able to avoid that big hit with those little stutter steps there in the open field. And a nice pickup on that reception there, giving them the first down.
Crevichet with his 6th reception. Phillips now out of the pocket. He'll run on his own, looking for blockers as he goes out of bounds, and he's pushed out of bounds by Aquina, number 29, but not before he picks up 8 yards and a manageable second down opportunity for the Lumberjack offense.
Yeah, nice pickup on that quarterback run there by Phillips. And so it'll be 2nd down and 2 now, ball on the 29-yard line. And Phillips doing a nice job on the ground thus far, 35 yards.
Sanders gets the handoff and picks up a few yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 6:45. Clock kind of just melting away here in the 3rd quarter as neither offense has really got anything going. Player down on the field. Looks like it's Sapili Tuiamala on the field being looked at by the trainer. Let's step away for a quick break here on Northwest Television Sports, KWVT Channel 17. Sapili Tuiamala now being taken off the field. He's been suffering leg injuries from game 1 now to this game, and unfortunately being helped off the field by his teammate number 69, Bruce Sumiatafa.
And so we'll have a 1st down and 10 here for the Lumberjacks. Ball on the 25-yard line, 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Sanders in the backfield and Crevichet being targeted heavily here in the 2nd quarter. Sanders gets the handoff on the left side, and he's met by the defensive line of Western Oregon. It'll bring up 2nd and long. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter in what's really kind of turned into a battle of field position and not a lot of offense here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 7, ball placed on the 25-yard line. Spencer Phillips at quarterback. He's going to look to the side. Akins has a lane on him, and he knocks him down. Akins now 2 sacks here in the 2nd half on Spencer Phillips as the defensive lineman doing his dirty work just the way that he does it.
Yeah, we'll see on the replay, and a nice job. What set this up was the great defensive pressure by not only the defensive line, but also the defensive backs not letting any receivers get open. Phillips just had nowhere to go with the ball, and so it led to a sack, and it's going to be a long 3rd down and 13 now.
4 down territory for the Lumberjacks. Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, and I have a feeling ball at the 28-yard line. It might be outside the range of Bruder to kick the field goal, and I won't be surprised if we do see him go for it, but it looks like they are bringing out the kicking team, and Matt Bruder's going to have an opportunity here to kick a 45-yard field goal. Crevichet heading off the field.
Yeah, a chance to tie up the game here. Just a 3-point game in the 3rd quarter, and I believe that was Kinsey who got his hands up, broke up that pass attempt.
28-yard line is where the line of scrimmage is. Add 17, it'll be a 45-yard kick. Plenty of leg out to the right, and the signs go up, and it is no good, and Western Oregon stays on top by a field goal and really has a chance again here if they can just get Joe Harris involved.
Field goal was no good. Ball will be placed at the previous spot. 1st and 10 for Western Oregon.
Ball placed back at the 28-yard line. But Western Oregon really not getting much going. Unfortunately, here in this 3rd quarter, probably more penalty yards than there's been actual yards gained, as we've seen Ryan Bergman want to try to blow this game open with his arm and Tyrell Williams, but they've got to go back to the basics, Zach. We need to see Joe Harris running that football.
Absolutely. Harris doing a nice job thus far tonight of rushing the ball, averaging close to 5 yards per carry.
And as we say that, Panui gets the ball off the right side. A couple of yards picked up. Leighton Panui now 2 touches here in the game. Picked up a couple of yards each time. Harris back in the backfield with Bergman. Bergman carries out his fake, but only a couple yards picked up by Harris on that play. Clock continuing to roll here in the 3rd quarter, which is going away quickly. 4:30 on the clock, and the Wolves on top 17-14 over the visiting Lumberjacks here on homecoming weekend. Robert Savoy now in at wide receiver along with Michael Reeves.
So 2 quick plays will bring up a 3rd down now for Western Oregon. I believe it's going to be 3rd and what looks like about 4 yards. Ball on their own 35-yard line.
Shift coming from the defensive line of the Lumberjacks. Play going to head out to the left side. But there it is, a nice play fake carried out by Bergman to Michael Reeve. Gets it at his chest level, lets the receiver bring it in, and first down yardage for the Wolves as they take the ball out near midfield.
Yeah, big 3rd down. We've talked about Western Oregon's struggles, and here you'll see Bergman doing a nice job. Even though he had a defender coming up on him quickly, closing quickly, he waited till Reeve got open. And a nice reception brings up a 1st down for the Wolves.
Low snap, ball given out to Devontae Hoffman, but Devontae Hoffman is raked down, and I can only think that the way that he fell down would be coming from somebody that raked on his face mask.
And you hear the crowd agrees with you, Matt.
Well, what am I seeing that they're... Well, we're seeing it. How come they aren't seeing it?
Yeah.
This is obvious. Look at him as he turns his head down.
Yeah, if not a face mask, yeah, you can absolutely see it on the replay. Total face mask. Everyone up in the booth saw it. The crowd saw it.
You're kidding me. Bergman now gonna go look down deep down the field. Left side this time has Savoy open. Savoy stretched out, man draped all over him. And Savoy wanting a penalty flag as he felt like he was held around the 15-yard line. But here we go again. Western Oregon kind of placing themselves in the same predicament time and time again. 3rd down and 14. And right now this offense is sputtering.
Yeah, Graves on the coverage there for Humboldt State. And unfortunately that ball just outreached of the outstretched arms there of the receiver. And so like you said, Matt, a big 3rd down and 14. And we see a penalty flag. I saw a player for Humboldt State.
Humboldt.
We'll step away.
First charge timeout out.
We'll step away for a quick break here on KWVT Channel 17.
And we're back at MacArthur Field. A big 3rd down here for the Wolves.
Bergman's flushed out of the pocket. A penalty flag comes out, but Bergman stays on his feet. And quite possibly the play of the day is going to be nullified with this flag. Bergman stays on his feet as he gets first down yardage. Only 27 yards of total offense in the 3rd quarter for Western Oregon. And everybody has their hands on. Look at this. Give me your interpretation here.
Yeah, great job of Bergman escaping the pressure there, staying on his feet, not going down, but it looked like he had a little bit of extra help there by one of his blockers. Wasn't sure if it was a hold or a block in the back, but...
That's 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains 3.
So it was already 3rd down and 14. Now it's going to be even longer there. Yet another penalty for Western Oregon. And like you said, Matt, only generating 27 yards here in the 3rd quarter. So really need to get something going. A close matchup, only up with a 3-point lead here in the 3rd quarter, 17-14 over Humboldt State.
3rd down and 24 for the sputtering offense of Western Oregon, and Bergman is going to look to go downfield. Has Wafer open. He is the big play receiver, like we called at halftime. First down for number 21 in the Wolves offense as Bergman, beautiful play out to his right side, throwing it right over the shoulder of Wafer for the first down yardage. Tell me, how many yards did we get on that play, Zach?
It was over a 30-yard pass. Wasn't quite the 40 you were predicting, but close, very close. Antoine Wafer getting open towards that the left sideline and picks up a big 3rd down, 3rd and 24.
Now into Lumberjack territory. Harris was going to get the ball. Bergman now finds Hurd underneath the middle on a nice little tight end or flanker screen play, and a 2nd consecutive first down for Western Oregon. And when they get things going, they like to go in a hurry. No huddle. Going to bring in some token substitutions, but right now here on KWVT Channel 17. Western Oregon trying to get something going here in the third quarter as Hurd picks up the reception in the first down. Wafer now at the bottom of your screen, left side of this formation. Joe Harris in the backfield alongside Ryan Bergman, who's coming into his own this afternoon. 13 of 30 for 220 yards, and Bergman going back to the air, comes to the right side, finds his receiver underneath, Spencer Van Brunt.
And it was Cooper with the tackle, and Cooper also had the tackle on the last play. And did a nice job of getting his hand in there, trying to rip out the ball.
Second down and 2 from the 12-yard line in the red zone is Western Oregon. Harris almost had a touchdown. Bergman calls his own number, running to the left side, trying to cut it up, but immediately met by number 36 and Minquan Johnson, defensive back, 190-pounder from Los Angeles, California. He's a freshman.
And Bergman did pick up the first down there on that carry. And so it'll be 1st and goal now, ball on the 6-yard line.
Michael Reeve staying on the field, Hurd coming off. Depew now number 15 on the right side of the formation with Wafer and Reeve. It'll be Harris and Tyrell Williams filling out the offensive players here that Bergman will have to choose from. Trip wide receivers to the right. Depew now a little bit man in motion. It'll be Bergman to the right side. He's looking to the end zone, holding the ball out there, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage and lose yardage there. But he doesn't give the ball back as the clock continues to roll, under 40 seconds remaining in a third quarter that is scoreless between these two teams.
Yeah, you mentioned number 15, Depew, coming into the game. He was actually the receiver that caught the touchdown, almost bringing Western back in last week's game against Azusa Pacific. Wasn't able to get the 2-point conversion right after that reception and touchdown. And so they ended up losing that game, but Depew now back in the game.
Harris gets the handoff this time, running off the right side. Already scored a touchdown in this end zone. But it'll probably be our final play of the third quarter, which will remain scoreless as time expires. There's the horn for the end of the third quarter, and we've got fourth quarter action coming up after these messages. Western Oregon 17, Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks 14 here on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT Channel 17. Break there between quarters. We've gone from the third to the fourth quarter, and this is where you do make your hay. The fourth quarter in a very tightly contested conference game between Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks here on homecoming weekend in Monmouth, Oregon at MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Luitak. We've been looking at the sideline at Sapili Tuliamala, who suffered a foot injury. Looks like he might be able to come back in as he's been retaped and his shoes are on, but it'll be Western Oregon, ball on the 5-yard line. It'll be third down and an opportunity to extend this field goal lead as 15 minutes show on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Zach, Antoine Wafer made his presence known there on that third down and 24. What do you look for here early on in the fourth quarter?
Well, the Western offense, although they were kind of sputtering at the beginning of that third quarter, they really started getting it going towards the end of the quarter. I'd expect to see some, and they're going to throw.
Bergman now going to have to run on his own, trying to get rid of it. He holds on to it, and Bergman runs in, does it all on his own. Let the pictures do all of the work. Ryan Bergman today showing the composure and leadership of a true number 1, like his number on his jersey. Touchdown, Wolves, and look at him stay in this pocket and keep this play alive with his feet, Zach.
Yeah, great job by Bergman, just scrambling, trying to find an opening. Offensive linemen did not give up on the play, kept blocking for their quarterback, and Bergman sniffs out the end zone. There you see, extends and gets it in there.
9-point lead for the Wolves, waiting for the extra point.
Status elected to take that penalty on the kickoff.
The penalty that will be enforced on the kickoff, I believe it is going to be against Western Oregon.
Yeah, must have been some sort of celebration penalty or something after the touchdown, because the touchdown will stand.
Western Oregon scoring on 11 plays, 67 yards. It was a 5-minute and 13-second drive that now gives him a 24-14 lead early in the fourth quarter here on Northwest Television Sports, Channel 17, KWVT. Back at MacArthur Field, Matt Palumbo, Zach Louis tag. Western Oregon now on top by 10 at 24-14 after the Ryan Bergman touchdown. Looks like Western Oregon and the Wolves will be kicking off from their own 20-yard line as there was an infraction of some sort of celebration penalty that will help the Lumberjacks. Good field position here as they'll have their opening drive of the fourth quarter, now trailing by 10.
Yeah, and that's really helpful for the Lumberjacks here. Well, hopefully it'll be helpful for them. Down 2 scores now here, and we are in the fourth quarter. The offense has been sputtering here in the second half, and so they look to get something going here. 14 minutes, 50 seconds to go.
Correa kicks off. Crevichet gets it at his own 20, now running all the way out to the right side and looking for an alley to run into. Plenty of speed with Crevichet. Have to be always wary of that. He'll run the ball out to the 36-yard line. The Lumberjacks will take over here early in the fourth quarter and trailing by a touchdown and a field goal. And we were talking about it, Zach, at the beginning of the game. -7 in the turnover department, now -11 with 4 more turnovers today. And those yardage numbers, they're almost identical. Where would they be without the turnovers?
Yeah, absolutely. A ultra competitive game thus far. Total offense, you're looking at 326 yards for Humboldt State, 343 yards for Western. Those turnovers making all the difference thus far.
Shane Kinsey now on Crevichet. Crevichet actually slips on the play and still gets the reception, but look who stays home. None other than Mr. Kinsey, and he'll knock down the little guy for a loss of yardage on the play.
Yeah, we mentioned last week Kinsey leading the team in tackles and doing it thus far tonight as well.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for Humboldt State. And Shane Phillips now feeling a little bit of pressure, has to step up in that pocket. He's going to choose to run the ball, and he is taken down.
Sandwiched.
Ian McBride, 97 is who I have making the play there. 3rd down and long for this Lumberjack offense. Now probably feeling the pressure of being down 10 with 4 turnovers.
Absolutely. Got to protect the ball here. Cannot afford to give the ball back over. And Western had a man missing there.
Phillips is going to run, throws off his back foot, and the ball intended for Cash Johnson coming out of the backfield. And very fortunate throwing off of his back foot when that pass actually got through his hands, and it was not intercepted, or even worse, a potential turnover opportunity, but it'll bring a 3 and out. And the Humboldt and the Lumberjacks are going to have to punt away to A.J. Hull, who will be waiting for it on his own 25-yard line.
Yeah, Lumberjacks had a great opportunity there. Western was short a man, unfortunately just couldn't capitalize there.
High-hanging kick going to go out of bounds. Western Oregon should take over right around the 30-yard line. It will be exactly that. And now Ryan Bergman and this Wolves offense has a chance with Joe Harris and even Ryan Bergman to take a lot of time off of this clock here early in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Did a great job on that last drive getting something going. The majority of that third quarter wasn't able to get much offensively, but that last drive really put together something nice. So you don't want to change your offense too much, but you definitely, with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, do want to chew up some of that clock. So I'd expect to see a little bit more run offense here from the Wolves.
33 carries for 101 yards, and Harris getting that ball, and he's got first down yardage, looking for more, running it nearly out to midfield. 18 yards on the pickup for Joe Harris, his biggest run of the day. 12 was his previous high, and now Harris approaching the 100-yard mark. 34 carries for this offensive unit of the Wolves, committed to the run this afternoon.
Yeah, there you see on the replay, nice job of Harris using his blocker. Savoy out there lead blocking was the receiver. and finally pushed out by number 36 for the defense.
Hurd does the lead blocking for Harris, who gets it for a second consecutive time, and he'll take it out over midfield and place it squarely into Lumberjack territory as the hurry-up offense goes back out there. Depew, Reeve, and Savoy going in. Tyrell Williams coming to the right side of the formation, and Joe Harris doing great work from his running back position today. Ryan Bergman now in the shotgun. Gives the ball right back to Harris, and this Wolves offense content letting seconds and minutes click away here in the fourth quarter, and having that 10-point lead gives you that luxury, Zach.
Yeah, and you absolutely see the defense tiring out a little bit here. Some big holes being opened up for running back Harris, and doing a nice job of capitalizing, really shredding this defense. Another first down for the Wolves, and so they have the ball now on the 42-yard line. Clock continues to move, just over 12 minutes to go here in the fourth.
19 first downs for this Wolves offense. Pass tipped up in the air, and can you believe it? Unbelievable. Pass gets tipped up in the air. Zach, who ends up with the reception?
Number 61, Gaisoa, offensive lineman, a 350-pound.
Ball gets tipped up by the defensive lineman. Gaisoa runs right underneath it, and he becomes a running back in a matter of seconds as Robert Savoy, his own teammate, almost got run over by Gaisoa. Third down. Second down and 7. Ball on the 39-yard line. Bergman from the shotgun. Going to look over the middle and go deep again to Williams. This time he might have him. Almost looks like he was held this time, but Bergman absolutely almost bent on the idea that he's going to get Tyrell Williams a big play today.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looked like Williams may have just lost the ball in the air there. Turned around a bit too late. Couldn't quite locate it and bring it in. Had his man beat by at least a step, but that'll bring up third down and 7 now for the Wolves.
11:25 on the clock here in the fourth quarter, and Ryan Bergman in familiar territory with this offense today. Third and long. Been working on it all day. Bergman from the shotgun has a man down the middle, and it is Tyrell Williams in their best connection of the day. A skinny slant on third down. It'll be first down yardage, and the Wolves are in the red zone again, where they cash it in over 80% of the time for touchdowns.
Yeah, finally Bergman able to find his man Williams. Nice ball there, and Williams right between two defenders. Nice throw, nice catch.
Ball from the 39 down to around the 15. Looks like about a 24-yard pickup for Williams, his biggest play of the game. Third reception. Ball goes to Harris off the right side, and the ball is down and picked up by a defender for Humboldt State. And the only thing you didn't want to have happen just happened. Ryan Moreno picking up the loose ball from Harris, who had played a spotless game up until this point. Harris had a unfortunate fumble a week ago as well, and right here with 10:53 on the clock, a big swing in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, did not want to give up the ball, was doing a great job of marching down the field. We'll get a chance to see here on the replay. Looked like number 36 may have got his hand in there to strip the ball. Nice job of Bergman getting out and making sure that the number 12 didn't get much more yardage there. Could have been a touchdown-saving tackle by the quarterback, so nice job not giving up on the play. But still, the Lumberjacks will take over with the ball in the 38.
Blitz being shown by the Wolves, and they might have almost picked it off as they were that close. It looked like it was Kinsey jumping in front of the intended receiver, and it just got through his hands. It would have been a big change in this game, but 10:48 on the clock, and plenty of time for the Lumberjacks to get their offense down the field and get back in this football game.
Absolutely. They have turned into a bit of a one-dimensional team, which is understandable down 2 scores here, but the Wolves defensively are able to key off on that.
Bergman finds Crevichet. Crevichet had a man draped all over him. Adam McAdams, defensive back, was all over Crevichet, but Crevichet now, how many receptions in the game for him now? His 8th reception for over 70 yards. It's 8 for 78, averaging nearly, like I said, about a first down every time he touches the ball. First down and 10, ball placed on the 49-yard line. Near midfield are the Lumberjacks. 3 wide receivers out to the left in this formation. Humboldt State trailing by 10. Phillips has to get rid of the ball and does, and he gets it to number 18, Wadibia. Positive yardage picked up there, maybe about half the distance to a first down, maybe 5, maybe 6 yards. It'll bring up second down for this Lumberjack offense, and they go right back to work.
Yeah, going to that hurry-up offense, doing a nice job so far on this drive, marching down the field. Spencer Phillips approaching the 250 yards passing mark.
Sanders gets the ball off the right side and gets close to the first down marker near the 40-yard line of Western Oregon.
Clock stops here, but on a run it should be moving. Oh, they did pick up the first down. Knew it was close.
Clock will continue to roll now. First down and 10, 9:46. Spencer Phillips from Eugene, Oregon, and Murray State handling the quarterback duties from the third string.
Akina coming in there, making sure that receiver was not able to bring in the ball.
Nick Williams bobbled it, and if Akina maybe has his head up when that ball is bobbled, we'll see here on the replay, maybe an opportunity almost for him to almost go for the ball versus the hit, but Akina doing what he does best, coming up from his defensive back position and laying a lick on Williams.
And so it's going to be second down and 10 now for the Lumberjacks, ball on the 40-yard line.
Oh, wow, big pressure coming from the defensive line. There's Akins for his third sack, and that is going to bring up third and long for Humboldt State. As we will see on the replay, he never saw anything like this coming. Everything collapsing around him, and Akins ends up on the bottom of the pile, and Phillips banging on the ball, angry that they weren't able to get something to go there. It'll bring up third down and 19 from midfield. Phillips needs to be very careful here, surveys the field, wants to go downfield, but now forced to run. Has some blockers, cannot throw the ball now that he's past the line of scrimmage, getting it back to the original line of scrimmage.
And who is it?
Kinsey comes up and makes the tackle. Gotta like what you see from this defense. They stay with the play. And a week ago, we could have talked about them, all their defensive linemen getting up the field too quickly, but it'll be fourth down here.
And let's see what Humboldt State's going to do. Down 2 scores, just over 8 minutes to go. They are going to go for it. Fourth down, 8 yards to go. And it looks like Western's going to take a timeout.
We'll step away for a quick break here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT Channel 17. Back on Northwest Television Sports, it's Humboldt State, the Lumberjacks, and Western Oregon and the Wolves doing battle at homecoming here at MacArthur Field. Fourth down and 8 from the 39-yard line. Biggest play so far of the game for Humboldt State. Spencer Phillips in the shotgun, calling out the play, rolling right and looking downfield. He wants to run the ball. He's been doing this all game. Referee gets in his way. He's still on his feet and nothing going there. It'll be a turnover on downs, and I don't think if the referee was there, Zach, that they would have even got the positive yardage. Sapili Tuliamala coming off the bench. We thought he was injured, comes in, and look at this play. Stays with it, he falls down, gets back up, and Spencer Phillips taken down by Tuliamala. Great play for the defensive lineman.
And there you see him on the sidelines getting fired up.
In the I-5 rivalry up in Seattle right now near the end of the third quarter, Oregon in a dog fight literally with the Huskies at 31-24. Bergman from the shotgun gives it to Harris, but it'll be Bergman keeping itself and have plenty of room to run out on the left side, and a late flag going to be called. Looks like Antoine Wafer might have had his hands too far into the defender.
Yeah, number 20 with the tackle for the defense, Jamal Jones. We'll see it here on the replay. Reeves with the initial block.
Western
Holding on the offense, number 80. Penalty be enforced from the spot of the foul. Be first down for Western Oregon.
Penalties have been really the Achilles heel for Western Oregon all day. Now they have 10 penalties in the game for 89 yards. It'll bring up first and 20, ball on the first and 15, ball on the 31-yard line. Bergman gonna pass the ball and has Hurd underneath and close to first down yardage as Hurd does some tough running, has Cooper draped all over him, but it does not matter as Hurd takes it out very close to first down yardage. Great play by Ryan Bergman rolling out, finding his receiver, and then Hurd turning it upfield and getting those tough yards. It'll bring up second and short. I won't be at all surprised right here. Wafer out to the left side with Savoy if we don't see Western Oregon go for a big play right here. But the ball goes to Harris, and they're able to pick up that yardage. Bumps out to the left. He has a blocker in Savoy. If he can keep on his feet, he's going to make it to the end zone. He keeps on his feet, and from the 44-yard line, it's a 56-yard touchdown. The Wolves are on the board, 30-14.
Great run by Harris. Oh, yeah, to the outside, and he takes it all the way to the house. Some great blocking down the field. We'll get to see it on the replay here. Wafer with a great block in the middle to spring him. Savoy stays with him all the way down the field. And a nice job of Harris cutting it back at the very end. Smells that end zone and will not be denied.
Harris now with 22 carries, unofficially 160 yards.
On the offense, number 21. Penalty being forced from the spot of the foul. The result of the play does result in a first down.
Whoa! And so apparently there was a penalty flag that I don't think anyone in the stadium saw. Not quite sure where that came out. They're going to mark the ball down all the way, what looks like the 17-yard line.
Capacity crowd here, over 5,000 people here at MacArthur Field. Touchdown is taken off the board. It's 24-14, but a huge run coming from Joe Harris on that great downfield blocking, and I think a little bit rattled, and understandably so is Western Oregon as they call the play dead here.
And so we'll restart.
Clock is moving right now, Zach. It's approaching the 7-minute mark. Lots of whistles. I don't think the referees have any idea what's going on right now. Not the players. The referees don't know what's going on.
My air. Timer, please put 7:15 on the clock. 7:15. And start on the snap.
And so we hope they got everything figured out here. So it's going to be first down and 10. Ball on the 17-yard line. Touchdown was taken back. Like you said, Matt, 7 minutes, 15 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. And even though the touchdown was negated, a great run by Harris.
39-yard pickup and over the middle on a nice little play. Bergman to Hurd, and they get the touchdown on the very next play. 30-14. Wolves out in front, awaiting the extra point, and a great play call from Arn Ferguson. The offensive staff been waiting all day to get a play just like that, right over the top. Ryan Moreno in his linebacker position could not cover Hurd, and the touchdown for Bergman. Bergman now 2 touchdowns in the game and approaching 300 yards through the air.
Yeah, great 17-yard pass right over the head of the defense, put it where only his receiver could come down with it.
Extra point is good, and Western Oregon and the Wolves on top 31-14 over Humboldt State on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT Channel 17. Crevichet and Cooper back deep and now trailing by 17. The Wolves on top 31-14 over Humboldt State. And it has been a great homecoming here at MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. Zach Louis-Tag doing the color commentary. Matt Palumbo here doing play-by-play. Crevichet will run underneath it and they'll run away from the ball. It'll be a touchback with 7:11 on the clock. It'll be the Lumberjacks taking over on their own 20-yard line. And really in a hole now, trailing by 17.
Yeah, Harris doing a great job on the ground to get them so close to the end zone. One play later, scoring the touchdown. But Harris so far in this game, 22 attempts, rushing attempts, 153.
Ball be placed at the 25-yard line. Touchback.
153 yards on the ground so far, 1 touchdown, and a long of 49 yards that we saw there. And so the 25-yard line is where the Lumberjacks will take over, like you said, down 17, 7 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. They need to get something going in a hurry if they want to have any chance of getting back into this ball game.
Phillips now going to look down the middle of the field and overthrows all his receivers. It'll be an incomplete pass. Ryan Bergman now just over that magical 50% mark, averaging around 53% on the season in completion percentage and nearing 300 yards in the game. It was a year ago in their final game of the season against Humboldt that Ryan Bergman had 3 touchdown scores and 320 yards. Those are numbers that might be surpassed this afternoon. Phillips in the shotgun now, trip wide receivers out to the right, and the ball is on the ground, and it looks like it is recovered by Kinsey. They're going to mark the ball down, and as far as I know, if nobody's knees touch the ground there, that should be a touchdown.
And even if it's not...
Ruling on the field, the pitch went forward. It was dropped by rule. That is an incomplete pass. Down is 3.
I hope we can get another replay here on that play. It didn't look like a forward pitch here up in the booth.
I'm a little bit... How is that not backwards?
Yeah, interesting call here, and the Lumberjacks finally get a break in their favor.
3rd down and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Phillips. Kinsey now creeping up, looking like he wants to blitz for Western Oregon. He drops back in to coverage, double coverage there. Crevichet gets it, but Chappell all over it, and Kinsey just levels them both and puts them out of bounds. And a signature moment maybe there for this defense.
And a penalty flag thrown, some extracurricular activity there. Players getting a bit chippy.
Crevichet now with 9 receptions to go with 14 a week ago. Clearly he's their #1 target, but he's taken a beating when he's caught the ball today. And I think Shane Kinsey had every intention of knowing if you're going to play football on our field here today, it's going to be tough battle. But it's Chappell that gets into the shouting match. I have a feeling that they'll throw penalties on both of these guys.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get the call here. Neither team has really moved either direction.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the offense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. The down will be 4.
Crevichet showing what it's like to be an 18 or 19-year-old at Division II level football. And when you are your #1 target and the best player maybe on your team, it looks like his emotions now down 17 get the best of him, Zach.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Humboldt State, in the game, much of the game, and like we've talked about many times, coming into tonight with winless. So most of this game in it, probably thinking they had a chance, and getting late in this fourth quarter, down 17, like you said, probably some of that hope coming out of the stadium, and there you see the results of it. But that's going to bring up a 4th down and 20 now. Clock continues to move. 6 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the 4th.
A preseason selection to potentially win the conference. Now looking to go winless now, 0-6. But A.J. Hull will get the ball at midfield. He'll take it deep into Lumberjack territory. And right now, Western Oregon on all cylinders has an opportunity with Joe Harris, Ryan Bergman to really put this game out of reach and have a wonderful homecoming weekend here at Monmouth.
Yeah, I'd absolutely expect to see Harris getting the ball here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go with a big lead in the fourth quarter. What you want to do is keep this clock running, stay in bounds.
Previous possession, Dustin Hurd scores the touchdown. He's got 4 receptions in the game for 55 yards. A favorite target today of Ryan Bergman. Harris now in the backfield. Savoy and Williams split out right and left, respectively. Hurd playing tight end and now moving across the formation. It'll be a handoff to Harris. Harris now stumbling, but gets about 5, maybe 6 yards. And that clock continues to roll as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Zach, you have to be happy about Joe Harris and how he's done. The more touches, the better he's got through the game.
Yeah, one thing we talked about at the beginning of tonight's matchup was how important it was to get the ground game going, take some of that pressure off quarterback Bergman, and Harris has definitely done his job on the ground. 158 yards so far.
Panui gets it. Leighton Panui, his 3rd carry here in the game. It'll take us under the 6-minute mark. It'll bring up a first down and 10, a new set of downs for the Wolves. And really impressive now is Western Oregon approaching that 500 yards of total offense for the game.
Yeah, we mentioned how productive their offense has been, majority this season coming off of the pass, but they rank second in league in scoring offense at 26.8 points per game, and they are above that thus far.
Williams with one-on-one coverage on the outside. Could we see a fade pattern? Now he's left completely alone. It's a blown coverage situation, but Harris now with plenty of room to run. He'll take it from the 24-yard line into the end zone, untouched. Touchdown, Western Oregon, 36-14, and you can just about put this one away on homecoming weekend as Harris runs off the right sideline, or right side, unscathed, untouched. What a play, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely. There you see it on replay. Harris doing a nice job, basically untouched all the way to the end zone. A great run, and they were just looking to run some clock, and Harris ended up running right into that end zone. So 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, and Western with a big lead now on visiting Humboldt State.
Korea actually slips, but the extra point is good. It's 38-14. Wolves over the Lumberjacks. We'll be back for the rest of the fourth quarter on Northwest Television Sports at KWVT Channel 17.
And we're back at MacArthur Field. The kickoff goes what looks like number 3, Crevichet.
Crevichet with a nice run back, probably has his wits about him as he picked up a big penalty there, and I can tell right now his teammates are trying to stick up and defend him, but Crevichet needs to know when to walk away, and so do his teammates. Unfortunately, they're going to remain winless on this season, at being at 0-6, and I know with all the preseason hype, it's just not there, but these are the moments, though, as a team you need to stay together.
Absolutely. Late in the fourth quarter, like you said, down big now. When it rains, it pours. Coming into what seemed like the beginning of the third, definitely even to the middle of the third quarter, it was a very close game. And unfortunately for Humboldt State, just not able to keep up here in the third and fourth quarter with the Western Wolves.
Got a new quarterback in. We'll get you that in just a moment. Oh, my goodness.
And it's Kinsey again.
Kinsey has had a nose for the football all day, along with his counterpart Akins. But this ball, again, I'm telling you, the referees have had a kind of a tough day. I don't think that hit dirt, but we're not going to know. Well, here it is. New quarterback in the game. Ball gets tipped. I don't think that hits the ground. I think hits his hands or his feet, and it ricochets up. It'll be second down and positive yardage picked up. So far, we haven't been able to pick up who is the new quarterback.
Looks like
Kyle Morris, in there, number 15. Kyle Morris has played this season at multiple times. In fact, played in all 5 games previous for 849 yards. He's going to go back to the air, and he's got a first down to Sanders.
And Morris actually passed for 671 yards at Idaho State in 2010. So an Idaho State transfer, Division I school. And finally we see Morris getting some playing time, doing a nice job thus far. 2 passes, 2 completions.
First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Morris is going to go for big play right here. And it was caught one-handed.
Wow.
We're going to get a replay here. But on any given night on ESPN, if you want to know what a top 10 play is, you would see it right here as Morris goes back from the 50-yard line, lays it into his receiver, caught one-handed.
Wadibia,
they'll run off the right side, and it'll be a quick touchdown as Morris comes into the game, and Ricky Sims will get a touchdown from around the 1-yard line, and just that quickly, it'll be 38-20, 4:18 on the clock.
Yeah, Morris comes in 3 of 4 passing, and just like that, marches the Lumberjacks right down the field.
5 plays, 65 yards, and 55 seconds come off the clock. That's what I call quick offense. It'll be an extra point attempt for Bruder here. And the Lumberjacks, as they try to draw within 17, 4:18 on the clock.
So now down 3 scores. What do you do if you're Humboldt State? 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go.
Don't have the timeouts. We'll see if there's going to be an onside kick after this break on KWVT. You're all back for maybe the most exciting play in football. It's going to be an onside kick. Hoffman and Hull are back deep, but everybody crouching up. The hands team out, and the ball hits off of Reeve, and Reeve glances off of him. Signal's going to go up. Ball initially going to Western Oregon, and it is recovered by the Wolves as they get extremely lucky. As we'll go to the replay, the officials have signaled this is Western Oregon's ball.
Wow, and a great opportunity for the
Chappell
Lumberjacks
was at
there.
the bottom of that pile. Reeve has it glance off of his shin, and Chappell, it looks like, comes up with the ball as he has it, number 6. Chappell making up for a couple of chances to pick off some passes earlier in this game. Gets the onside kick recovered there for Western Oregon. Ryan Bergman and the offense will have a chance to go out and ice this game.
Yeah, I'd expect to see another dose of exactly what we saw in the last drive from the Wolves. We're going to see a lot of Harris, although we are seeing some replacements come into the game now. Number 14 in there at quarterback.
Trey Shimabukuro and Devontae Hoffman go into the backfield. Shimabukuro back up to Bergman this season. It's Hoffman with the run off the right side, and where Harris made hay, so does Hoffman as he lowers the shoulder and his helmet near first down yardage. And the seconds will now melt away as it's 4 minutes and 11 seconds. It'll be first down and 10 as the chains will move. Hoffman's first run of the game for first down yardage. And the Wolves on top by 17, 38-21 over the Lumberjacks of Humboldt State.
A nice hit at the end of the play there by McQuan Johnson for the defense. A DB freshman, 190 pounds. But not before Hoffman picked up the first down there.
Shimabukuro now in that shotgun position, wide receivers out left and right. Ball goes back to Hoffman for a second consecutive run.
And another big pickup. And we're seeing those holes just get wider and wider, and that's caused by basically the energy of the defense. Definitely we're seeing the impact of them being on the field a lot here in the second half. So that clock continues to move. 3 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball on the 31-yard line as the Wolves continue to drive.
Shimabukuro yet to put the ball in the air, 1 of 2 on the season in the only game that he's played previously. Maybe an opportunity for the quarterback to do something here, but it's Hoffman huffing and puffing on that right side as the Lumberjacks try to strip the ball away, but the clock now goes under the 3-minute mark. It'll bring up a third down and very manageable for this opportunity here. Shimabukuro giving the ball off to Hoffman again for a third consecutive time.
Yeah, nice job keeping those feet moving and also holding onto the ball. Like you said, you can see the Lumberjacks
Humboldt.
trying to
Second charge timeout and a half.
We'll keep it here as it's really a nice bounce back for Arndt Ferguson, Western Oregon. I think they had to be
They got one left.
a little bit disheartened after losing that game last week. 5 minutes to go, down 15. Able to get those 2 scores, get the onside kick. They end up not getting the 2-point conversion. And in a game that, you're right, halfway through the third quarter, it's only a field goal game. 21 unanswered before that last touchdown that came from the Lumberjacks. But really a nice bounce back game here for Western Oregon as they move forward into the season.
Absolutely, yeah. Next week, a great momentum for them as they move into their matchup with Dixie State. They're going to be traveling to St. George, Utah.
They had an opportunity to play Dixie State earlier on when you weren't able to make it down, Zach. Obviously a game that Western Oregon handled quite easily. An opportunity to get some momentum, build a second consecutive win, and then they'll come back for Central Washington. They'll come back for Simon Fraser a week later. That'll be here on KWVT. Shimabukuro now going to have to throw the ball on third down, and he gets first down yardage. Looking onto the far side of the field, I have Mark Moore, wide receiver, number 86 with his first reception. Trey Shimabukuro now 2 of 3 in his season so far, coming off the bench after Ryan Bergman. A superb afternoon, 19 of 37 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns to go along with 46 yards is his long play, but Shimabukuro picking up a first down, and the clock will roll again. 2:30 on the clock, and the Wolves in control, up 38-21 over Humboldt State.
And so a handoff to number 10 to the outside.
Simpkins gets the run, keeps the ball inbounds, and it will continue to roll. I think Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks will be content not calling those timeouts now. This is a moment, unfortunately, for their coaching staff and for their players. They're going to have to understand, hey, this is not going to be our week. We'll have to regroup and do this again next week. But really a well-played game for them for 3.5 quarters, and then obviously this offense in Western Oregon got clicking in a big way in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. Something to hang their hats on. They know they played a good majority of this game pretty competitively with Western Oregon.
Simpkins now gets another handoff up the middle. Shimabukuro carrying out the fake.
And he will be short of the first down, it looks like. And I believe there's going to be a timeout by Humboldt State.
Humboldt, third and final timeout now.
Minute 37 on the clock. It'll give us some more time to talk about really.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout, 30-second timeout.
Really, a game that Western Oregon, I think as they move forward, they know that they have a true field general in Ryan Bergman. But what did they learn today? That if they continually give the ball to Joe Harris and they let that offensive line get their rhythm, that they are going to open up holes. And as the season goes on, if they want to compete for this league title, Joe Harris might be the linchpin that's going to make that possible.
Absolutely, Matt. Like you said, Harris really found his legs in this game. 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 49-yard long run, averaging 7.6 yards a carry. So Harris really taking this offense on his back.
3rd down and 4. Shimabukuro now
It's
gets
intercepted.
picked off.
And
Looks
it's
like
Cooper.
Cooper's got room to run. Simpkins now with the play there. I was actually going to talk about Ryan Bergman, and I know that that's an unfortunate interception, the second turnover here. Shimabukuro trying to force the action. His intended target wasn't there, and he just gets it outside of the reach of the receiver, and Cooper gets the interception. But Bergman completed passes to 8 different players today, and that's a sign of having confidence in the players that you have out on the field. Obviously, Antoine Wafer with a couple of big plays, like we mentioned earlier, getting close to a 40-yard gain here in the second half. But being able to spread the wealth, and obviously we got to see the nice play by the offensive lineman catching it and be the 8th receiver in Bergman's in his passing today. Kinsey now coming up. He's rushing on Morris. Morris will go deep hole, trying to come over the top, and it is broken up. A minute 17 on the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Hull and Akina out there breaking up that pass. Nice job by the defense getting out there. A long ball there by Morris, and so that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Going to be a penalty flag for too many men on the field. A free play here for the Lumberjacks as they couldn't get all the players off the field. The man who was guilty was Max Jackson, a defensive lineman, number 32, couldn't get off the field soon enough. It'll be a penalty for too many men on the field for Western Oregon, but in control, up by 17 and just over a minute remaining.
The illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men in the formation. Be a 5-yard penalty, down remain 2.
And so it'll be 2nd down and 5, just a minute, 13 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Ball on the 41-yard line now.
Morris is going to go deep again if he has a chance, but he'll run the ball this time looking for the sideline as Kinsey was about ready to hit him, but Morris smartly runs the ball out of bounds, stopping the clock at 1 minute and 6 seconds, not before he picks up 1st down yardage for the Lumberjacks.
So a nice job of Morris running to the outside, picking up the first down, and also stopping the clock.
Pretty impressive, the defense for Western Oregon now giving up only 111 yards on the ground today. Morris set the pass again and defended quite well, but his man catches the ball. Chappell running through and making the tackle. Play was made by Nick Williams. Now under a minute, Western Oregon, many of their starters still out there on defense. Morris, a quick call going onto the right side, has a man underneath, and it is caught. Play was trying to be broken up by Adam McAdams as he came down to swipe at that ball after the receiver made the reception. 30 seconds on the clock. The clock will roll with the first down and the placing of the ball on the 29-yard line. Morris now going to look to his left, puts the ball up in the air, and he's picked off by Shane Kinsey. Wonderful play by number 40. Kinsey now the unquestioned leader along with Akins on this defense, and that is a great way to end homecoming as Kinsey raises his arms up in the air as he just plays center field watching the quarterback's eyes. Morris looks it right in, and if my memory serves me correct, 5 more turnovers for the Lumberjacks, and everybody's favorite formation, Zach, coming up for Western Oregon.
Absolutely. Victory. And a nice job, fitting that Kinsey would come away with that interception. So many close turnovers Kinsey almost had today, and finally jumps up skies and gets that ball at its peak, takes it away from the receiver. And so Western's just going to kneel on it and end the game here. A great victory on homecoming for the Wolves.
After a deflating loss to Azusa Pacific and a 2-week homestand, ends with a 1-1 record as Western Oregon on homecoming weekend behind Ryan Bergman's 295 yards and 2 touchdowns win 38-21 over Humboldt State and the Lumberjacks. We'll step away for a quick break and we'll get you all the stats on a great victory here on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo, Zach Louis tag here for KWVT on the Northwest Sports Channel. It's Western Oregon and the Wolves coming away with a wonderful homecoming victory, 38-21. We're going to look at some opening highlights here. As Ryan Bergman, this is one of the great plays we saw in the game where he keeps his own feet and he ends up running around and just doing everything he can to keep the play alive. It ends up with him on the 5-yard touchdown. And overall for Ryan Bergman today, what a special day. Take a look at this play right here.
Yeah, doing a great job of finding Hurd in the back of the end zone. Great passing touchdown. And this we see Harris run into the outside. A great score rushing touchdown by Harris, the one where it was basically untouched.
Harris with 2 touchdowns in the game and nearly 200 yards on the ground. This was the final play and score that gave us our final score of 38-21. As the Lumberjacks really, for the better part of this game, was very much in it with Western Oregon, but the tail of their season, through attrition, through injury, they haven't had a complement of a full roster to play with. And how has it manifested itself, Zach? It's manifested itself in those 5 turnovers that you just cannot get away with if you expect to win a conference game on the road.
Absolutely, a pretty competitive matchup, but the turnovers really being the dagger in the back of Humboldt State, really not allowing them to ever really catch Western. They had the lead early in the game, but after that, those turnovers really costly to Humboldt State, and especially when you're a winless team, momentum really plays a big part in it, and unfortunately could never get it back on their side.
Some amazing things that happened today. You look for balance, 232 yards on 47 attempts on the ground. Obviously most of that coming from Joe Harris and Ryan Bergman a couple times running for some big first down yardage. Bergman, we said, nearly throwing for 300 yards, over 500 yards of offense, and a team that has struggled to have time of possession at a -7 clip has the ball 7 more minutes today because they are able to run the ball effectively. Arn Ferguson has to be happy with that. And even we can say now, nearly a 50% clip before this game was over on 3rd down conversions. All the things that they were working on, seemed to really come out and play today. Got to be happy with the homecoming victory. Your final thoughts today before we sign off?
Absolutely. Great momentum for them to take into next week's matchup as they travel down to Utah, face Dixie State. So a great game here at MacArthur Field. They got to be fired up for homecoming, and a nice job of Western finally getting their running game started in it. And the key to that was Joe Harris, like you mentioned. Harris having a huge game, approached that 200-yard mark. Wasn't quite there, but 2 rushing touchdowns. A great job by the Western offense and Western defense, both bringing home the victory for them on homecoming.
Joe Harris, our player of the game, 24 attempts for 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long run of 49 yards. Western Oregon gets into the red zone 7 times today. They're able to convert 4 of 7 opportunities into touchdowns. They come away with a 38-21 victory on homecoming weekend. We want you back here 2 Saturdays from now at 1 p.m. when Simon Fraser will come south of the border to play the Wolves here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT Channel 17. For Zach Louis-Tag, for Ken Louis-Tag, our executive producer, and everybody here, I'm Matt Palumbo. Thank you for joining us today for Wolves football. Wherever you are, football fans, be well.
Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.